it's gonna be so bad. Wishes from people that don't really understand is that we have. Oh baby, keep loving, keep loving me just like you do it, like you do it, like you hips don't lift, so we keep growing just like we do it, like you do it, like you.
I don't understand why people as famous as Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard, like I understand why Dax Shepard needs social media. It makes us like you all less.
Yeah, you don't need to let us in like that.
Yeah, we don't need to be let in. Part of the reason you are that level of famous is because we don't know very much about you.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
hello, people of planet Earth. Are you you're staying alive? If you're listening to this, you're alive, and that's something. Welcome to another exciting episode of Guys We Hugged.
It's the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Christina Hutchinson.
Welcome to the show. What are you doing on Friday, November 14th?
I know what you're doing. You're going to come see Slutsgiving at 8 p.m. at the Crown Hill Theater in Brooklyn because it's going to be myself, Corinne, and we have very special guests, and it's going to be the best night of your life.
We've actually been talking for a while about how we're going to have really cool guests, and I got to be honest, we didn't have those guests booked yet, but we had a dream. But now
that dream.
We actually have one, and this is only one. We're going to get more, but we have one that's like
one of my tops.
Really good.
One of my tops.
It's a really good guest.
Yes.
We're really proud of this guest.
So buy your tickets now. Don't give us a heart attack leading up to the show. And if you have a non-perishable food item to bring with you, please bring it. And Corinne and I will donate it after the show to a food pantry. Because we're the sluts that keep giving.
All right, and if you want to send us an email, it's sorryaboutlastnightshow@gmail.com. Make that subject line descriptive. This subject line is certainly descriptive. It says, I survived a murder-suicide thanks to GWF.
Cute.
I really want to thank the listeners for doing everything possible to make sure we get demonetized on YouTube. So thank you. We're off to a great start. We'll make no money on this episode. Where do I begin? My name is Tia, longtime and OG fucker, and I am a mother of 3 boys. I am a child of a narcissistic mother. Y'all raised me. I am a mother myself, and as your podcast has evolved, I'm learning how to break generational curses that have plagued the women in our family for centuries.
Good for you.
My family is from rural Appalachia region, and it isn't uncommon for teen pregnancies to turn into obligatory marriages. Ugh. I escaped my first abusive relationship with the father of my children. He was a frontline medic for the military and had extreme PTSD that developed into a dangerous environment for my boys and myself. We left. He delayed treatment at first due to the mental health stigmas surrounding his future career path towards Master Chief and potential medical discharges. Fast forward, I met my ex, Voldemort, for the email's sake. Yes, that is what we have nicknamed him. I feel like everyone has an ex that they refer to as Voldemort.
Everyone.
I don't even watch Harry Potter, and I have an ex that my other friends have deemed Voldemort. He literally looks like him, though.
Ew.
I think he's hot. Yeah. I was like,
you would like that?
Yeah. I was like, no, he looks good. That wasn't the problem. He gained this nickname due to how triggering his name became amongst our family. Little did we know the personality the evil character would develop into an actual reality. He groomed me amidst my vulnerable state of mind, as I didn't understand what I had just endured in my previous relationship. I'm on the spectrum, and I'm learning a lot more about my social cues, etc. now. Tools I didn't have back then when I was only 22 or 23. My first baby was born when I was 18 and a half years old.
Damn.
He sincerely made me believe he was going to save me and treat me better than anybody else. He was right, for sure. This shithead managed to mind fuck me better than anybody else, for damn sure. I eventually found myself stuck in a black hole of a relationship. I realized I needed to get us out. After one night, he destroyed my yoga mat. I was a fitness influencer at the time and personal trainer. Shattered the modem and router and attempted to suffocate me because I was in the room watching TV without his permission.
Whoa.
It took me 2 years to plan a safe escape for my children and I due to the pandemic, which created barriers for us. This fortified an abusive environment with little to no escape. The pressure cooker of a household condensed throughout the pandemic, and the pressure released when he tried to commit a murder/suicide. His plan was to kill himself along with burning the house down with my children and I in it. I mean, listen, it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. There's a lot of words. It's Domestic Violence Month, October anyway. And I just want to put a PSA out there to all the men listening. Just kill yourself. That's really just don't kill the whole family.
If you're going to do that.
Yeah, if you're going to do this, just kill yourself.
Right.
I promise you, everyone will think better of you, okay? If you just kill yourself, oh no, what was he going through? If you kill the whole family, well, now you're a monster.
Now you're Voldemort forever.
Yeah,
and then you're going to have to do the next life and going to be good.
Yeah. His plan, so it's always the same plan, too.
Yeah.
Be original.
Hack-ass bitch.
How many times have we seen the same plan? My ex was diagnosed with type 2 bipolar, manic depression, anxiety, borderline personality with schizophrenic tendencies, paranoia. That's it. It's like a joke. Paranoia, alcoholism, along with other addictions. Okay.
You just say he's fucked.
Right. I mean, I guess there's only one route for him, and that's stand-up comedy. I go, yeah, I don't know. Sounds like my ex-boyfriend. To put into perspective his personality type picture, Brian Landry. Oh, God. Haven't thought of that guy in a furlong. He not only disturbingly resembles him, but has the same exact personality type. I was Gabby Petito. I could have been her. He went as far as impregnating me against my consent. He refuses to pull out even though I tried twice. I took the plan B the first time and didn't the second time. It resulted in late detected ectopic pregnancy. Legislation prevented me from having a formal DC as it wasn't life-saving preventative treatment, as it had not ruptured my fallopian tube yet. I was disabled. I was passing out in and out of the hospital for fluids and was too weak to walk. I was on round-the-clock pain meds due to the excruciating pain. Eventually, my gynecologist pulled me aside, removed her badge, clocked out, and stared at me and said, "If you want to survive, go to a Planned Parenthood immediately." This is me speaking to you woman to woman. I legally cannot help you. I am devastatingly sorry. I proceeded to go through the procedure against his support. He wanted me to keep the baby. It wasn't viable. It was increasingly growing more distressed, along with riddling my body with infectious bacteria, slowly killing me. He lied to his family and beat me into admitting that I had an abortion, not treating an ectopic pregnancy. I was nicknamed the baby killer in the family. I grieved alone for years. I am blessed, as this baby would have linked us for life. It was still my baby, though, and I will love them forever. My baby is my baby regardless. 3 years later, I am on the phone with my nursing manager. I was at the time a pulmonary COVID nurse, and he strapped me to a chair with my kids pinned. He had my boys in the hallway and was beating them, screaming in their faces that, quote, you all ruined me. If you leave me, my death and blood is on your hands.
Jesus.
Over my dead body will anybody else have you guys. You're mine forever.
Oh, my God.
I was instructed to call off work. This was my chance to have his true identity brought to light. This is our ticket out of here. My manager could hear the fear in my voice, and she could hear the whimpering in the background. She contacted my family.
Thank God.
My parents immediately got in their car and were on their way. While on the phone, I texted my neighbor without him noticing. Okay, so I guess she has some kind of code. She said Hector, Echo, Lamp, Peter, status, help stat. I don't know how they had a code developed, but I guess they did. He responded nearly immediately. We were saved. Voldemort escaped a prosecution aside from restraining orders due to his mental health, and I did not have physical evidence of my abuse. My kids to this day are in therapy. As I was working through the pandemic, he was abusing them in private. They were coached into not speaking out, or he would end us all. If I did not have the help of an elderly retired deputy veteran in our neighborhood, we would be dead. The smell of gasoline that still hung in the air the moment I ran like a girl with my boys in my arms is unforgettable. He had doused the perimeter of the house and had the lighter in his hand as we ran out the door. As for what assisted me creating my escape is entirely accredited to you two ladies, which I had to listen to secretively as he controlled my content and forbid anything that encouraged my weaker womanly mindset or independence. He would break my phones if he found out I divulged in any suspected above outlined content. I did not give up. I would not settle for a Lifetime series. We are going HBO, baby. Kidding. The disturbing part about this entire experience is the number of people who suspected I was in trouble and kept silent. They all gained their voices when I was finally free. Staying silent is not beneficial. Despite the fear of losing your friendship by challenging the safety of someone in a relationship is worth it. Plant the seed in their brain. It will stay. If it doesn't lead to their escape now, it will resurface one day, flowering and blooming into fruition, the escape of a woman or man, leading to a future, not a grave. I am now in a new, healthier relationship with a third baby boy. I'm experiencing sincere freedom of expression within my relationship, and I'm happy. My older boy is asked to live with their biological father, as he is now recovered and healthy after 11 years of rehabilitative treatment. They're amazing young men and are blessed to have the opportunity to get to know their father. That was a turnaround.
Yeah, geez, that's great.
Thank you. You are appreciated. You are making tsunamis, not waves, in the domestic violence community, ladies. Please don't ever give up on making your voices heard, as you're not only influencing and shaping our community, you're saving lives. Well, glad you got out of that.
Oh, my God. Is this dipshit alive? He didn't kill himself.
Oh, isn't this the guy that the kids are living with?
No. The boys' parents was not the murder-suicide guy who tried to light their house on fire.
Oh,
That's a different
they
guy.
had no kids with
Yeah,
him?
so she had one kid that was the ectopic.
Right,
but
yeah.
it didn't work out.
Oh,
So
they
that's why she was
linked
so
for
glad she never-
life. Yeah. Oh, I was like, okay, so there's three
So
men in this email? Okay,
I'm like,
got
is
it.
this guy just running around? I'm
don't
so
know.
glad you're okay.
Well, I mean,
Jesus.
he probably is. He'll find someone else to latch on to.
I'm in a musical in Key West called Florida Man at the end of November. It's at the Tennessee Williams Theater. If you're in the area, you happen to be there. My Patreon is paused for the 2 months just because I'm flying back and forth every week to rehearse. So that is all I have to promote for right now.
And if you want to catch me, but talking pretty much exclusively about the news and social issues, but really the news because we talk about social issues on here, you can catch me every Wednesday on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Most weeks we live stream. This week it is a pre-record. I actually have a really good episode that will have aired this past Wednesday when you're hearing this, but you can just go over to youtube.com/withoutacountry. It is with my good friend who's just an incredible man who has done so much work. He used to be he used to be the head of marriage equality. Obviously, we have that now for now. So he's done a ton of work with that, but he now works as the VP of Outreach for Americans United for the separation of church and state, which is something that we need so much right now with the constant bleeding in of Christian nationalism to our policy. So that's great. And again, like, Americans United is not like anti-Christianity. Actually, most of the people, including Brian himself, are people who their own religions are the reason that they work for this organization because they truly value what the religion is actually about and hate to see it weaponized and used to, hurt the LGBTQ community, to hurt immigrants, to hurt women. And so it's just a really great episode that will hopefully give you some hope in, times when many people seem to not have hope. So I highly recommend that. Oh, and speaking of domestic violence, so this is actually a good topic for today before we get into it. I don't know if you saw this is like a little bit pop culture nonsense, but people got pretty mad about it. Kristen Bell's message to Dax Shepard on their 12th anniversary. Did you see this,
No.
Christina? Okay, so I gotta get the exact quote.
No.
So
They seem like a nice couple.
So Kristen Bell accused of downplaying domestic violence in tone-deaf anniversary post to husband Dax Shepard. That's the New York Post headline because New York Post does write, funnier articles. And they started out by going, "This is the bad place." See what you did there because she's on a show called The Good Place. You get it?
Right.
So Kristen Bell is facing backlash online for what she wrote in her tone-deaf anniversary post to her husband, Dax Shepard. On Saturday, Bell, 45, shared an Instagram photo of the couple hugging on their bed. And it's also a very weird photo because she looks like, many pointed out, like a child in it. Like you can't see her face. And she's just like kind of hugging him, but she's like in the air and it looks like a young girl hugging her dad. It's very weird, very strange behavior. And the caption said, "Happy 12th wedding anniversary to the man who once said to me, I would never kill you. A lot of men have killed their wives at a certain point. Even though I'm heavily incentivized to kill you, I never would." Now listen, I love a dark sense of humor. Number one, I don't like an overshare in an anniversary post. You guys know my feelings on a wordy anniversary post. It means you're moments away from breaking up. Basically, I want to see a one-liner, and then anything else than that, you're on the rocks, and there's nothing that can convince me otherwise. But also, like, my number one response to this is I don't understand why people as famous as Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard, like I understand why Dax Shepard needs social media because he's in the podcasting world, but like Jennifer Aniston, like all these types of people, get offline. It can only lead to disaster. You're already famous. The rest of us are just trying to get to your level so that we can delete our Instagrams.
Oh, wouldn't that be
It
nice?
is crazy to me that anyone of real fame has Instagram. it's dumb.
Yeah,
It makes us like you all less.
Yeah, you don't need to let us in like that.
Yeah, we don't need to be let in.
You
Part
can
of the allure,
be on a pedestal.
Part of the reason you are that level of famous is because we don't know very much about you.
Yeah.
That's why it works.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
musicians, you can post a song, whatever. I don't want to know anything else about you.
But is this domestic violence, or did they have some dark jokes and then she just shared it kind of haphazardly?
Well, people are saying it's insensitive because of, the existence of, when things exist, you can't ever make a joke about them. So the fact that domestic violence exists and they would dare make a joke out of it. And then, of course, someone did point out that October is, domestic violence prevention, month, which I did know in the back of my mind. When I read the comment, I was like, oh, yeah, it is October.
There's always a month for everything. It's headphones month. It's microphones month.
Well,
it's cheating cheating third boyfriend's month.
Well, also, it's just like, I mean, if this is going to offend you, it should be offending you whether or not it's October. Like,
yeah, facts.
Like, what? I just thought, like, I thought it was like a strange thing.
It is a little weird.
And I don't even understand, like, the part where he wrote, even though I'm heavily incentivized to kill you. Like, I thought about what that could possibly mean, because I'm like, what is the incentive here? Like, because men, like, when men kill women, yeah, when men kill women, like that's like the one thing that I feel like they actually do get in trouble from, like, in a life of not getting in trouble for the things that they should get in trouble from, because we all know it's always the husband.
It's always the husband. I've watched too many documentaries lately.
Like, so that's the part that I was confused about. Oh, this is the picture. Like, I mean, part of it is because she's so tiny.
But he's also holding her like she's a baby.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've all done that. We've just not all posted a picture of this happening.
So much tinier than him. Wow. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Sexually.
Maybe she posted it because Dax was like, can you post a picture that makes me look like a man? Like, when I think masculinity, I don't really think Dax Shepard. You can't, how manly can you be when your first name is fucking Dax?
Yeah, you can't
like, that was mean of your parents.
Yeah. What is that short for? Dexton? Dextery?
I have no fucking clue.
That's probably a nickname.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
I have no idea.
D-A-X.
The whole name blows. In the comment section, fans accuse Belle of making light of domestic violence. Kristen, there's no way you posted this during Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
She ain't keeping up on that.
Yeah, celebrities don't know about that.
I didn't know it was Domestic Violence Month until Corinne just told me now.
I did, but I had to be like, that was not like, but I think not to
Halloween.
be rude. Yeah, not to be rude, but I gotta be honest. If they cared about women, they wouldn't have tried to compete with, I mean, hasn't Halloween taken the space in America as the number one most
celebrated holiday?
Highest grossing holiday?
Oh, yeah, over Thanksgiving? Probably. I don't know.
Well, over Christmas. I think Thanksgiving is the highest travel rate.
Right.
But Christmas makes sense that it's not anymore because, so many people are not Christian. But I mean, people still celebrate Christmas, but I think it took over recently as the highest grossing holiday.
That was rude to make Domestic Violence Month.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really.
Can we be scared for funsies?
Yeah,
let's pretend and be scared. That's very enjoyable,
right?
Let's not be reminded that our greatest predator is also the person we're attracted to.
It's just, oh my God. And then it goes on to say, just an FYI, posting this caption during Domestic Violence Awareness Month is unbelievably tone deaf. Please reconsider.
She's famous. You're tone deaf by default.
Well, I gotta be honest, there's no way Kristen Bell knew it was Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
But I will say, no matter when she posted that, were you just gonna dangle that little, haha, my husband said he's incentivized to kill me, and then just walk away?
Yeah.
Did he piss you off on your anniversary? Maybe he forgot, and that's why he said that.
There's a certain part of me that thinks, like, is this just a Kris Jenner move? Because there's no way someone who's been famous, as long as they've been famous, wrote that out and then thought, no one's gonna react to this.
Yeah.
There's just no way. I don't believe it. No one's that dumb. Please don't joke about domestic violence. Please keep in mind that this is something real, that lots of people suffer on a daily basis. A different person told them.
No, yeah. I do still stand by, though, FYI, now that we're here, you can joke about anything. That doesn't mean it's not going to offend people. But if you get offended, that's okay. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. It's okay to be offended. I'm offended. I get offended by comedians' jokes. And I sit with it and I interrogate it and I go, oh, why'd that piss me off? And then I have a conversation with myself instead of trying to go, they shouldn't be allowed to do anything anymore. So Yeah, our tolerance for being offended is super low. And I mean, look, when you read that caption, I was like, what? But okay.
Well,
It's not going to change the fact that women are still getting murdered by their husbands, you know?
No, it's not. But I also just like, I don't, I was more like, if my husband said that to me, I would be alarmed.
I would too.
And I've dated a lot of people with like dark senses of humor, and I don't mind. But like, that's weird.
It is weird.
That's a weird thing to say.
My guy and I would watch murder, like we watch murder docs a lot, and it's always a dude killing his girlfriend or wife. Always. A lot of times she's pregnant. And we'll joke, every once in a while, like, hope I don't murder you today. But I say it in like a cute little voice. Like, so it's just not.
Well, that's different. That's like seems like a bit that
it's
you
topic
do.
related.
Yeah.
You know?
And maybe
This is your anniversary.
I need Dak Shepard. We need to call him in and have him do a line reading because I need
Give me his number.
I need to hear how he actually said this. It's I didn't care as much about the murder thing because like you guys can say whatever you want in your own homes. It was really the incentivize because I wanted to go. I'm just so curious about what the incentive is. I don't know what it could be.
She doesn't have. They both have a lot of money.
Like the incentive is like he could get a hotter wife. What's the incentive?
That's fucked up if that's the incentive.
That's the only incentive I can think of as a famous man because you'd 100% get caught. We'd all know it was you.
Yeah.
You're a podcaster, which is the worst kind of person to murder someone because you'd accidentally leave some details because it's very hard to fill this much airtime every week.
Them motherfuckers are covering you on My Favorite Murder.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
A fourth fan said, how can any self-respecting, well, no one, Kristen Bell never said she respected herself.
Yeah, don't hold that against
self-respecting
her.
woman stay with a man who jokes like that? I'm not even a very serious person, but that would have me leaving so fast your head would spin. I mean, can we really take anyone seriously who is married to Dak Shepard in the first place is my follow-up question.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. He's been through some stuff. I don't know. I forget his whole story, but I know he does like therapy, and he's so brave for it.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
He just says he has a long laundry list of things that would have made me left before the joke.
They've been together for a really long time.
12 years, yeah. 12 years married. What an odd thing to say, read another comment. Girl, this did not land the way you thought it would. And now all of us are questioning why you're with this man. Another critic wrote.
I wish people on the internet in comment sections like that didn't bum me. Like, I don't want to give them the power to bum me out, but like that, it's just like, I've never left a comment on someone's Instagram. I mean, I'm sure I have in my lifetime. I can't think of any. But like, that's just like, really? That's what you had to say? Yeah, that's what she had to say. You know we're all human? Do you remember that? It's not fun. You know that. I'm sure we all know that.
She left it up. Kudos to her.
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman goes, oh, I love this picture. Sarah, you okay? Girl.
Did she kept the comment section turned on? That's my favorite.
Comments on this post have been limited.
Oh, good.
So to people, I guess like only that follow her.
It's my favorite when I.
Tank Sinatra goes, please tell me this was in your vows.
That's very funny. Yeah, my favorite is when you post something that pisses people off and they start fighting, and then you just turn off the comment section. It's what power?
No,
what power?
You gotta leave it on if you want that algorithm to work in your favor.
Who needs it?
I just don't even read it. I go, oh, good. Now fight amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's really funny. Okay, well,
hope no one gets murdered.
the most important thing is, did he post an anniversary post about her?
Did he?
No, I don't think so. That's the real domestic violence.
Yep.
Like kind of honestly. So he posted a podcast
Certainly
clip with Jennifer
emotional torture.
Aniston.
Oh, okay.
4 hours ago. He posted a picture of his car 15
Corvette.
hours ago.
Nice Corvette, Tex.
Him on a motorcycle, so he's obviously going through some kind of a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
5 days
Well,
ago.
that's why his arms are so big.
Yeah. Yeah, no post.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she posted that because she's mad at him. Oh, that's hilarious if that's the case.
But the thing is, it still backfired because, as always, she posted something bad about like that a man said, and she's
getting shit for it.
Yeah,
well, she's been on the internet before. I think she knows that's how it works.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Well,
I was just like, oh wow. I was like, wow, if something topical happened, we could talk about on Guys We Fucked the day that we need to talk about it, or like within days.
thank you, Kristen Bell.
This was Thank you for
Really appreciate it. Let us analyze your fucking weird ass relationship.
I just like this is the first thing I read when I woke up, and I was like, why am I reading this? This is terrible.
How are you
Anyway.
doing?
I mean, I'm still in America, so not great.
Yeah.
Apparently, everyone experiences deep grief after they come back from Japan, and no one told me. I was like, that would have been nice. And when you guys were all recommending the things that I asked you to recommend in Japan, it would have been nice if someone gave me a heads up. It's going to be one of the worst weeks of your life when you come back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so you've talked to other people who felt the exact same thing?
So many people on my
Specifically Japan.
On my post about Japan, so many people said, "Oh, that's just Japan for you." Like it was a known fact.
Jesus.
Nicole, have you ever been to Japan? No? Okay. Well, don't go apparently unless you were planning on moving there. I was literally on Zillow last night looking up prices for an apartment in Kamakura and Tokyo.
You know what?
Very cheap.
It kind of sounds nice to live somewhere where they don't speak English and you just interact with your eyes. That sounds nice. That sounds refreshing.
But the thing is, it doesn't even matter what any language anyone speaks because it's so fucking silent there. You don't hear anything.
Oh my God.
The streets are silent. You'll look down the street and you'll recognize with your eye that there are hundreds of people walking down the street, but it's silent.
Whoa. What? That's wild.
Subway packed, silent.
No one says anything?
Nope. And it's so good.
Ain't nobody blaring their music on their iPhone speaker? Ain't nobody going to the beach and saying, well, this is my time now. We're going to listen to my playlist.
I didn't actually go to the beach because it wasn't like warm enough to I went to a beach town. I did not go to the actual beach. Okay. But yeah, no, they would never. Wow. They would never.
Wow. America is so obnoxious.
Well, the thing is, though, a lot this actually made me feel better. It's not just America because it's like I've been to lots of places and I've been to a million amazing places. I've been to England and Ireland, and I've never gone to those places. I greatly enjoyed, but I never was depressed to come back. I was always stoked to come back to New York.
Yeah.
So
something's up.
Yeah.
I mean, America right now is
I started looking into going to China because they have a Labubu land.
Oh, yeah.
I love a theme park.
Yeah. There's honestly, Key West is pretty cool. You have manatees swimming up to your dock.
That's good.
It's always 80 degrees. Sunsets are
I don't like that, but yeah, I like the manatees.
Yeah, the sunsets. I saw a barracuda in the water. That was really cool. They're beautiful.
I don't even know if I know what a barracuda
it's
looks
like. It's like this long. It looks like a saw. It looks like a one of those single saws. It's a really fucking interesting animal.
I was like, the only barracuda I know is the late gay club from New York City that I used to hang out in.
That sounds way more enjoyable and certainly will be much friendlier to you.
Oh.
Yeah, they're really beautiful.
Scary.
Yeah. But it wasn't that big, but it was like a little baby barracuda. And
those teeth are going to get you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see the teeth. I was like, God,
that's crazy. So wait, do you immerse yourself in this water or no because there's barracudas in it?
Well, no, that was a rare sighting. I don't think they would fuck with you. I haven't immersed myself yet. I cannot live in if your town rains a lot or it's remotely humid, I can't live there. My hair looks like a fucking bird's nest. It doesn't look good straight, doesn't look good curly. I mean, unless I shave my head, honestly, it sounds pretty nice. But yeah, so I haven't been diving into the water because it's just like my hair just I look like I'm wearing a clown wig.
Well,
I really need to figure out how to
wear a swim cap.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. I am enjoying the nature, though. It's very nice. It's very nice in the theater. So, you know who else you're going to enjoy?
Today's guest.
Goddamn right you are. I found him on the internet, and I was so excited to have him. He is a psychic, and that's in quotes on his Instagram bio, comedian. He was on, I believe it was America's Got Talent. And I've been watching all of these clips of his. One of them, he was predicting this woman in the audience what the female name for her baby. She's like, she was in her early 20s, and he's like, it's gonna be this name, and he was right. And I was like, how do you do that? So I am very excited to dive into this man's psyche and figure out, and he might read one of us. It's gonna be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the show,
Peter Antonio.
had a woman last night who had discovered her co-workers were talking shit about her behind her back.
Juicy.
And she was going to invite them to her Halloween party and then confront all of them in her apartment.
Spooky.
And she was like, do you think it's a good idea? And I was like, no.
Now, was that psychic you?
I was
going to say you.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are here with Peter Antonio. I am so excited. I found you on Instagram. Thank you, Instagram. And I was watching your videos, blown away. As everybody knows on the show, I'm super into the woo-woo, the psychic stuff. So I guess my first question for you is, what are your gifts and how did you find them?
I think I was like a weird kid, and like I was always into like the esoteric. Like my aunt reads like tea leaves and coffee grounds and palms and stuff. She's an old weird Greek lady, so like I watched her doing a lot of that. I bought my first tarot deck when I was 9.
Oh, very young.
We were on like a holiday in France, and I saw it in like the grocery store. I was like, I don't really know what that is, but like I know I want it.
Yeah.
And like learned how to do that, and then started developing stuff. And like I loved comic books as a kid, so I was like, oh, I want a superpower. I want to be able to like read minds like Professor Xavier. And in that way that kids do, I was just like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And it was still the early days of the internet, so you could email people and they would be jazzed to have got an email and replied to you. So I emailed like psychologists and hypnotists and psychics and magicians, and was just like, right, how do I do this? And
You really had it together when you were 9.
yeah, I was very forceful. Just, a pain in the ass for my parents, I'm sure. And started exploring loads of bits like that. And it was just like a party trick that I did for like friends at parties or at recess and stuff. I never thought that it would be a career or building into anything like that. It's sort of
Were your parents like, how are you doing this? Like, I mean...
I think my parents have been slightly bemused by every life choice I've ever made.
Sure.
So I think they were just used to it by then. Because, I decided to learn how to play the cello about the same time I started reading minds, and like I then learned how to fence and like became a fencing coach. So like I'm really living that like 1800s lifestyle.
Yeah, I'll say.
And it makes me sound way fancier than I am as well, because like where I grew up in London, it was like quite an underprivileged area. Like a bunch of people I went to high school with are now in jail for like gang-related murders and stuff.
Yeah.
And because it was like the rise of knife crime in London. So the
London do be knifing.
Yeah, I'd always prefer a knife crime than a gun crime, because like when someone gets stabbed to death, you're like, you've had to put the work in.
Yeah,
there.
you can't blow my head off with a knife.
Yeah, and so the local government were like, oh, we're going to invest a lot in music programs and sports programs. So fencing became an option, because when knife crime's a problem, what you want to do is teach
kids swords.
Yeah, teach blade skills. And then, like, I was, like, at the perfect age where I was at the age when it started, and then as I was kind of aging out of their programs, they were all being defunded. So it was, like, very lucky to get that thing. But it gave me a bunch of, like, social class markers that are not my own.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, like, being in America, people hear this voice, and they're like, oh, you're so fancy. Whereas, like, any British listeners know, like, oh, this is a poor voice. Like, he's a poor guy.
Oh, it's not a posh accent.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
you can identify that from someone's voice.
Did your aunt, you said reads tea leaves? Was she your mentor in any of this?
She was like, as encouraging as she ever has been. We'll put it that way. She's quite an aloof person.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So and she would like encourage it, but also, she like learned all to do this stuff, and it's funny those memories like you have as a kid, that like when you revisit them as an adult, you understand them so differently. Because like as a kid, I was like, oh, isn't it so cool that my aunt can do this? Isn't it nice that like she wants to help people through their stuff? She's just a messy bitch who lives for drama. Like she just wants to know who's having an affair. Yeah. Okay. And I think that is, if I'm honest, the main reason I do what I do now is that I get to like roll into a room and be like, right, what's going on here? Like who's having an affair? Who hates who? Like tell me everything.
That's so funny. Well, yeah, because I was going to talk. I mean, I know that you said you like often don't use your skills when you're in relationships, but I'm like, that's you know if someone's cheating on you or not? Like, if you have the power, you have the power.
Yeah, so it becomes harder the second I am personally involved in a situation, because then when you want to be true starts clouding what you can see. And like when I'm doing readings for other people, like I care about them in an abstract way. Like I care that everyone's happy and everyone's safe, but like I don't have skin in that game in the same way. Whereas like being able to tell whether someone's even flirting with me, like hopeless.
Can you not tell?
No, not at all.
Guys can't tell with that.
They
a
really
lot.
can't.
That's very strange. But
Yeah.
yet they want women, but they don't know when they're very obviously being flirted with.
Yeah, and I think
that
like
about?
yeah, part of it is the like doubting yourself, and then also I am very conscious of like I never want to make an environment like uncomfortable for someone.
Sure.
And it is very easy to be like, oh, they're flirting with me, and then you've soured the whole thing. And I would rather, even when I get the inkling of like, I think this is flirting, I would rather err on, no, they're just being nice.
So do you wait for the woman to ask you out then?
Either like I'll either wait for them to ask, or like get to a point where I'm either like, this feels clear enough that I can say, and like I'm a big fan of just being really upfront and being like, hey, like I'm getting this vibe. If not, that's cool. Like, but I want to just lay this out because I would much rather just be very explicit. And I think that is one of the challenges is when people see what I do, they go, oh, well, I don't have to have those explicit conversations anymore because
he's going to know.
Because he'll know.
Yeah.
Just know.
And then it ends up causing issues. So.
Right. I mean, we do say a lot on the show, like, men aren't mind readers. You have to tell them how you feel. You are a mind reader, but not in your own personal
Yeah, you're
relationship.
still a man.
And I would rather, like, someone just told me. Because, like, something that I say a lot in the show when people get, like, nervous about being used is that, like, oh, I'm not going to wander into anything you don't want me to talk about.
Okay, that's
and
good.
like, and if I start going down a path and you're uncomfortable, you can just like flag on the field, like we're stopping this.
Has that happened before?
A couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah, and like sometimes we'll be on a track and I'll pick something else up, and I can see in their eyes they go, no,
don't do that.
and I go, okay, yeah, and then we just like drop. Because as much as like I'm desperate to have a good show, it's more important that everyone has a good experience, and I will like tank a bit of the show if it means protecting someone.
If it means going home not knowing knowing you didn't ruin a person's life.
No, so what you put psychic in quotation marks when you write it on your Instagram. What are the quotation marks?
I think there is a lot of skills involved in what I do. So like, there's like a lot of body language. There's a lot of like sort of learning magic techniques and stuff.
Like mentalism?
Yeah.
Mentalism's like, so cool.
And like, so I've learned all of those things, and like the classic like readings and tarot and all that stuff is part of it as well. And I just wanted to like, I don't want people to come to my show expecting that I should change their life in a moment. This is like a fun, like it should be the same energy you approach like reading a horoscope with. Like this is fun and it gets a moment and you get some reflection, but like I wanted just a very early nod to, if you're coming to Zanies on a Wednesday, do not expect your entire life to have changed.
Right. Well, that's the problem, I think, though, because like you say, like, oh, just reading horoscopes, like they're fun, but now, like, especially now we've had this like reemergence of like New Age spirituality. So people like live or die by horoscopes, by the tarot. Like I am very into tarot, but I kind of feel that same thing with you, like where you're like, I can read tarot, but when I read it for myself, which is really the only person who I read it for, I'm like, I feel so attached to it that I always get it checked by somebody else. And I feel like it's, you know, pretty much every time what I've read for myself is what the reader also reads, but it you know, it's also steered me down wrong paths where I'm like, well, I wanted this to be true and it's 100% not true. And now we've wasted 6 months.
Now I don't trust the tarot.
So
I think the way that I always explain tarot when I give tarot readings to people is like, in it, the cards are not magic. It's your interaction with those cards.
Right.
And it's like reading a comic book with all the text stripped out.
okay.
So you are looking at a story and saying, like, in life we tell ourselves stories. Like, if you're in a car accident, you can say, oh, I was really unlucky that happened. Or you can say, oh, I was lucky that it wasn't worse.
Right.
And those are both stories available to you. And which one you choose depends on how you see that thing. And the tarot is saying, here is a story that you can look at. You're going to put yourself in as the main character. Is the story that the card's telling more or less accurate than the story you're currently telling yourself? And then you can reframe everything like that. And it does get to the heart of a lot of issues.
Right.
But I think so often people, and I think this is like, as the world has got more chaotic, the baseline level of anxiety has increased.
Sure.
And I think any sort of divination is an attempt at like hacking being able to say, oh, I know what's going on. I can just relax. We're looking for comfort.
Yeah.
And I think that like one of the unfortunate things is that a good use of a reading is to make you more uncomfortable. It's meant to give you more questions than answers. Because I think that's when, like, a good psychic, I think, doesn't tell you exactly what you should be doing with your life. They give you a better quality of question and a better, like, input into something so that you can take ownership. So you don't have to spend $150 every other week to go to someone's spare room and decide what you're going to do with your life.
Yeah.
So wait, are you walking around though knowing exactly what people should be doing with their lives and then watching them take misstep after misstep?
I can
Great
have
question.
my own opinions, but then again, like I'm also always aware that like I have a bias in my own head of
Sure.
what people should be doing.
Sure.
And like the longer term the thing is, the more like unexpected consequences there could be.
Yeah, and everybody's got their own path.
yeah,
You know, who are
and-
you to disrupt it?
And yeah, sometimes you just have to, it's like being a parent, like sometimes you just have to watch someone make a mistake
Yeah.
because you go, this is part of your journey, this is part of your learning. And if you don't make this mistake, then you're not going to get to these next few things.
Right.
Have you made mistakes in romantic relationships, we'll just say, 'cause that's
all
the
the
main
time.
topic? Yeah.
All the time.
Like what?
I think, yeah, just like not having the clear communication. Like it's so easy to be like, oh, I want clear communication, but then like, you know, you go, oh, I don't know, and like anxious, and like, am I overstepping, and that sort of stuff. And I know that like the big challenge in the last couple of years as well is like I'm on the road 5-6 days a week, so trying to like nurture that whilst also nurturing a career is
Yeah, it's tough.
Very
Maintaining
difficult.
a bond like that is tough. You mentioned you worked at a psychic hotline.
Yes. So when I went to college, in order to pay my way through college, I sort of joined a psychic phone line. So I was like a British Miss Cleo.
That's what I was saying to you earlier before you walked in. I was like, oh, he's like Miss Cleo.
Yeah.
Except like you, I imagine you gave better advice.
I tried my best, yeah. So
Yeah.
there was like two main services on the phone lines. There would be like the call thing, which is like you could pay per minute, but it was much more often that people booked like 10, 20, 30-minute readings. And there was also like an SMS service, so you'd log in and you'd reply to people's texts. And so it wasn't uncommon that I was doing like 40 to 50 text readings a day. And then I do like sort of 5 or 6 phone readings.
Do you tune into somebody's energy when you're texting them?
The texting is much, much harder.
Yeah.
And like I'm kind of going for like a slightly more like shotgun approach with that, where like I'll get a vibe of something, but then it's so much harder to be accurate. But then also I think like if you're texting a service, you're kind of expecting your own little like personal horoscope. It's like, oh, that was fun anyway, and move on with your day.
Right.
Yeah.
I think like it was not my experience that anyone who was texting in was really expecting like to deep dive on
Yeah,
anything.
because that's a phone call if you really got something going on. What kind of things did you learn about people? What were these people asking? Like what when somebody specifically calls a psychic hotline, is it always, I would assume it's always about love?
Love, career, health, right?
Yes, yeah. So there was like sort of the main categories are like, you know, there's travel and health, education, like going back to school and that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, like romance, career opportunities, and then like money opportunities as well.
Okay.
And like there are very strict laws in the UK about what you can and can't talk about on those phone
Oh,
lines.
really?
Psychic hotlines?
Yeah.
What can't you talk about?
So like you cannot discuss health at all. Like you shut it down
Oh,
at
okay.
every time.
That's good.
right.
You can't discuss like investment opportunities or anything like that. You cannot discuss people being cursed or like cursing other people, like anything, any of those discussions.
so-
Have you ever read someone who you're like, I think you are cursed, but I can't say it?
No, I think like I've read people who are cursed by their own bad decisions. Like
That's most of us.
Like, yeah, did you even believe in cursing? I don't really believe in
yeah,
that.
I think that a lot of those things sort of become self-fulfilling prophecies.
Sure, right.
Yeah. I agree.
And there are a couple of people I encountered that would like hint at that they were cursed, and like
That seems like they want.
Hey, Peter, I'm schmersed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I like, especially on the phones, I was like, I can't engage with this, but also like, I'm going to try and talk around this, so I'm not like violating any of the rules, but I want to give you like a magic feather to be like, hey, just like believe you're not cursed anymore.
Right.
Because it's like I was saying in the tarot, like it's the story you're telling yourself.
Well, because I think being cursed becomes people's identity. I think it's like a victim mentality. You're
It's a
like,
poor me
Well,
thing.
yeah, and you're like, but it feels like it's like your life is going badly. But if you say you're cursed, it makes it sound like more interesting,
More exotic. Yeah.
And then you stop looking for opportunities as well,
Right.
because you're like, you know,
I'm
if you're
cursed.
if you're out there saying, oh, I'm going to get this job,
Right,
then
right.
you're looking for all those adverts and you're meeting
Right.
those people. As if you say, oh, it's pointless because I'm cursed.
Right. That's
Then-
if you're bringing cursed energy to the table, you're gonna get cursed outcomes.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. The victim mentality is probably a very common one. What did you learn about romance through this experience with psychic hotlines?
I'd find often that like people had cast their partner. It was like, this person has been sent from central casting. They are filling this role. And it was much less about like, right, this is another human being that I have to interact with. It was more like,
Right.
I've got a list of criteria. They tick those off.
Right.
The things outside of those, we're just going to steamroller over.
Oh,
So
that'll
I
always go well.
I had a very frustrating 20-minute reading with a woman who was annoyed that her husband didn't preemptively do any of the housework.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you don't talk to him about any of this? And she was like, no, of course not.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, you need to talk to him about that. And she was like, no, he should just know.
What?
And I was like, sweetheart, he doesn't know. And you can spend the next 20 years of your life being pissed about this, or you can have this conversation, and those are your two options. And she was like, no, I just need you to psychically tell me when this is going to stop. And I was like, psychically, I can tell you it's going to stop when you have the fucking conversation with him.
So funny.
And that's not even, that's
Yeah.
at that point, you're a therapist.
Yeah. There is a point, especially when I'm touring middle America, that I am just giving unlicensed therapy to straight cis white men. That
Us
is.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they need it, so that's good.
Yeah. And it is crazy to me that people will come to my show rather than going to speak to her. And I will always defer to hey, this feels like something you should be seeing someone about. And they're like, oh, I don't need that. And I'm like, well, you just burst into tears the second I mentioned your son in a room full of people. So it does seem like you do need that.
Right.
People are very funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you ever feel because one of my problems with kind of the woo-woo stuff in general, and I don't say that disparagingly, we use that term a lot on here, but is that I feel like a lot of times it is preying on people who are in vulnerable situations. So has there ever been a time when you're whatever you're going through is too raw, I can't engage with you right now?
Yeah, and especially it's one of the reasons that I fully stopped doing private readings when the show took off.
Okay.
Is because I'm they are two different products.
Yeah.
The point of the show is it's a fun time. We're
Right.
wowing you. It's me showing off. Whereas private readings are a very different thing.
Okay.
And and even in the private readings, yeah, I would say hey, this is something you need to go and talk to this professional about.
Right.
Because yeah, I want this to be a fun moment of folk healing and talking and a space where people can be seen.
Yeah.
But the moment we're into medical issues or psychological issues, I'm just a fucking idiot. Don't ask me.
Way above your pay grade, yeah.
And I think sometimes it's just, I had a lot of success with saying to people hey, you should go and talk to a therapist about this in private readings. And they'd go, okay, yeah. And I think they're just looking for permission.
Yeah.
And especially in the UK.
I'm getting a vision. You should go see a
I see you
therapist.
with a woman. She has a notepad on the couch.
There's lots of good drugs. Yeah, and I think especially in the UK where we've got socialized medicine, that is a wonderful service that should be rolled out. But something I have discovered being in America and having the American thing is because I am a consumer in America, I do not feel any qualms about saying to my doctor, no, you're going to see me right now because I pay you a horrendous amount of money every month.
Yeah.
You're going to see me. Whereas in the UK, there is a ladder of this is bad, but not as bad as that person. And you're slotted in that.
Right.
And I think because mental health has been underfunded in the UK for so long as well, it's such a long wait to see anyone that people have that double barrel of the social stigma of asking for mental health and then being oh, it's not as bad as it could be. And then it's going to be along and they're looking for someone to say hey, no, you should see someone.
Right.
Yeah, I feel a common thread in all of humanity for all of time, but I think especially now, is looking for answers outside of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that for health and psychological issues, not that therapy is a really, really helpful tool, and obviously doctors are as well. But a lot of times it's people, I follow, Corinne mentioned, I'm really into the woo-woo stuff. I'm fascinated by mediumship specifically. I dragged Corinne out to this guy who had a TV show, and we went to a Times Square reading. And I want to believe, I kind of have adjusted that a little bit lately, but it was such horseshit.
Yeah.
And I was so mad because I'm these people are crying. They lost a loved one. They lost a child. How could you do that? But then there's this other woman that I love. Her name's Laura Lynn Jackson. And she is the real deal. And it's crazy to me how in this one category of thing, there are people that are so legit and that could actually, these tools are super helpful for their lives. And then there's other ones that just are just horrendous. I'm like, how do you sleep at night? How
Yeah.
how are you okay with who you are doing that to people? It's crazy.
And yeah, I think it's such a fertile ground for like con artistry and like leveraging stuff. And I think like even any of the music, like if you're someone who's like, oh, mediumship is horseshit, you can't talk to dead people. Okay, well, like let's look at what someone's getting out of that experience. Let's separate whether it's true or not, and let's ask if it's useful.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, there are certainly like, even if you don't believe someone who goes to like a John Edwards show is actually talking to their dead nan, like if they leave that experience having some closure, then like, where is the harm there?
Yeah.
And I find that like there is a lot of argument about like what is actually true, but like, do you know what else isn't true? The economy. We've also made that up, but like it helps things function.
Yeah.
And I think the second like it tips over into exploitation, there's the line.
Yeah.
But like letting people have this thing like entirely separate from whether you believe it or not, is it useful? Is it like functional? Does it help them?
Yeah.
And I think that like I get a lot of pushback from that. And it's crazy, like I see comments on the reels where people say like, he's exploiting people. And I'm like, we're goofing and gaffing about like a guy whose chickens aren't laying eggs. Like I'm not selling someone a curse removal service for $500. Like I'm not entertaining private readings. And it is like, we're having a fun time. And I think people's inability, and it's media literacy. It's the death of media literacy where we sort of we're picking apart like what is the purpose of this? Like how are people interacting with it and going from there as opposed to just saying, all right, that has to be bad and this has to be good because that's the only way we can understand things.
Yeah, you got to get that black and white thinking out of there. And I can even imagine too, even like a con artist person, the placebo effect is very powerful. So if they are told something by a guy who's you know a con artist, but they believe it, that could unfold into this beautiful thing for them down the road. Just no thanks to that person. But yeah, people wanting to believe things, I imagine, is also like a barrier.
Yeah, and I think it's like, it's giving someone, the permission to believe in themselves and stuff. And I think we're often looking for that permission.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing you've uncovered in these shows, these readings? Or in your experience in general?
Yeah, so like in the shows, we had a lot of things like we captured it, and it's one of my favorite videos I've got on my YouTube channel of someone came to the show and they had found out that day they were pregnant with twins and they were there with their daughter and they hadn't told their daughter yet. So I'm on this train of like, oh, this is like some new news you've got. And it suddenly clicks in my brain, oh, I don't think anyone she's with knows.
Oh.
So I say like, hey, I can stop right now. I'm going to like write this down on a little pad and show you so that the audience know whether I'm right or wrong. But if you don't want anyone to know, we can just like keep that as a secret. And she looks at her daughter and then looks at me and says, no, you can say.
Wow.
And like, that's how her daughter found out that she was about to have twin siblings.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
And like, and like an incredible moment, like crazy that I get to be involved in that story. That was wild. I had a woman last night who had discovered her co-workers were talking shit about her behind her back.
Juicy.
And she was going to invite them to her Halloween party and then confront all of them in her apartment.
Spooky.
And she was like, do you think it's a good idea? And I was like, no, like...
Now, was that psychic you or was that you?
Yeah. Did you see like everybody in her house like just freaking out, or did you see like as a
because like as the co-host of the show, I can just tell her that's
like,
a bad
don't
idea.
do that.
Yeah. And a lot of that is like the balancing of like me being able to pick up these details from people's brains because it's like I just say to her like, okay, think of your question. I've got this. I've got like the conflict and I figure out all the bits. And then it's just human Peter that says like, you can't storm out of your own apartment. Like,
I know.
And it's a bad you don't want all that bad energy in your apartment. Like I don't allow people I don't think are good people in my home.
And if they're talking shit about you and they choose to come to your Halloween party, fuck them.
That's crazy.
I said to her like, you need to think about like this. I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to feel incredible in the moment. But you then have to think about like the hour later and the day later and like what the actual outcome of this is.
Right.
And then psychic Peter kicks in and goes, and I know that nothing I say right now is going to dissuade you from doing this. So enjoy your party.
And also too, if we zoom out, like just psychologically speaking, the way humans operate, she's probably trying to get vengeance on an old like her dad or her mom, like was someone else hurt her worse than her coworkers, and she through this situation is trying to expend that energy. It seems that's unfortunately how a lot of humans operate.
You see patterns like that, and I think that's one of the things that like helps me a lot in doing the shows is like seeing people and having the sort of autistic pattern recognition of looking at someone and being like, oh, I know you because I see these patterns.
Yeah.
And that kicks in as well. And it's sort of easier to tap into someone much quicker.
Have you ever picked up someone was being cheated on and you told them? Or you didn't tell them?
I had the opposite. I had a woman who was at the show with her husband and she was thinking about whether she should leave him for her boyfriend. Oh. And I like stepped into this and immediately was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, and just, I just lied and said, oh, I'm not getting anything from you. I'm just going to move on. Because I was like, I'm not entertaining this because also like it puts me in a personally dangerous situation because like one of the guys is there. Yeah. And the other one's going to find out what happened, and one of them's going to want to kick the shit out of me.
Right. Also, like, as a comic, like, you know, we get hecklers a lot, and you can handle that a million different ways, and sometimes we handle it, like, you know, just not jokingly, and it just ruins the vibe of the whole room, so you don't want to do that.
Yeah, and, like, the show is already a bit of a roller coaster, because it's, like, entirely dependent on the audience. So, like, some shows it's very emotional, and, like, people are crying, and I'm like, you know, good to have this catharsis, and also, like, this is meant to be a comedy show. Everyone, please stop crying.
No, I know. Sometimes people bring things are too heavy to the show, and I go, I don't think this was for our show.
Yeah, we do a lot of live interactive stuff with our show. We have one coming up in November, and we've had a couple times like somebody come up, like, we're gonna prank call an ex. Like, we want you to come out and tell us about somebody who like did you dirty, and we want a situation where we're all gonna be like, fuck him, and we're gonna prank him like lightly, not anything too bad. And then she'll say something like, he assaulted me, and we're like, okay, we can't.
Or like he's threatened to kill himself 15 times, and we're like, we can't prank someone who's suicidal.
And then we have to
what are you talking about?
We send them back to their chair.
Yeah,
like, well, that sucked.
yeah, it's not good. Well, so do you ever really truly not feel anything, or do you get something from everyone? Is there anyone just nothing going on?
Occasionally, like I'll look at someone,
zen guy.
and it is like it's like a mixture of things. Like sometimes it's just someone who's just there, just like no thoughts, just. And you occasionally meet those people in life. And you're like, oh, what an amazing life you must lead to not be constantly racked by anxiety every second.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's beautiful.
And then sometimes it's that, like, someone's been dragged along and they're just stonewalling. They're like, I don't want to think anything. I don't want to get involved.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, yeah, I respect that. Like, I'll teasingly, like, pull people into the show who seem reluctant. But, like, there is a point where I'm like, okay, like, we can stop playing now.
Right. Yeah. There's, like, a playful not believing, and then there's, like, a don't fuck with me, like, not believing. And then, like, what's the process of like turning on your power, or do you always have it like if you're having a conversation, I would imagine you need to not be reading people's minds so you can focus.
Yeah.
Here.
It's sort of like, zoning in a little bit, and just it's been an adjustment period, like touring so much more. Because like touring in the UK is so much easier than touring in America. Because it's tiny. So like, I can go back to my own bed every night if I want to in the UK. Whereas, like, I've been on the road for 3 weeks at this point. Like,
it's a big ass country we got here.
Yeah, it's a lot of other people's energy on your energy.
I was going to ask, like, does that fuck with you? Like, sometimes we'll go to a concert and I'm like, I just need to sage myself.
Yeah, it is exhausting. And like, I did 2 weeks of shows in Florida, like 2 weeks ago. And the first week was lovely. And the second week, every show was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, how so?
Just, every stereotype of like what people think Floridians are like.
I'm literally in a musical right now called Florida Man in Key West, and it is wow, there's something special going down there.
One of the shows was in Key West.
Oh God.
Yeah. And there was not a single man in that audience who could follow a simple instruction. Even to the point of like, hello sir, what's your name? And then he would start telling me about his car, or I don't know. I don't give a like.
Oh God.
I promise you, I've written this show, and all you need to do is say your name, and we can move on to the next bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just, there was like after shows like that where, because I start the show with like 40 minutes of other mind reading demonstrations before I get to the readings.
Oh, that's cool.
And just like then I'm starting the readings, always like, oh, this is like 20 minutes in. I turned to the audience, I was like, I think I'm done here. Like,
did you say that?
Yeah.
Were they like, yeah, we think you're done too here, son?
Half of the audience like thought it was a joke.
Okay. Did you end the show?
No, I kept going, but I was just like, oh, this is...
You guys aren't giving me anything.
This is miserable.
And was it miserable because they're just too in their own heads to actually connect with you for you to get an accurate reading?
I think there was a couple of very big groups.
We hate groups.
Yeah. If you're not a comic, like big groups feel like they
party.
yeah, they dominate the energy of a room.
Well, really good comedy clubs make like usually cap it at like 8 or less.
Yeah.
But then but some comedy clubs just want to make money. So.
And also, yeah, like I've been doing more and more like theatre spaces as well. And it was truly like a group of like 40 people.
Oh,
Jesus.
that's too much.
And yeah, they had all come and they'd all been like very obviously day drinking and were constantly like trying to pull focus. And
Oh my God.
Just, yeah, you go like, this show isn't about, like, I know you're 40 people, but also there's like 150 other people in this room.
Sure.
Yeah, that you want to entertain. When you say you demonstrate other mind reading things, how do you mean? I don't want to give anything away from the show.
Yeah, no, so like there's a portion where I like show like lie detection and I have people on stage.
Ooh,
and
so interesting.
And then like we play a game because like one of the questions I get asked a lot, especially like doing Vegas residencies as well, is like, oh, you must like gamble all the time. Okay. And like the truth is no, but like I quite like the fun game. So we play a series of gambling games with an audience member just so like I have a lockbox on stage and they lock up all of their shit in this lockbox. And there are 4 keys, only one unlocks the padlock. And we have audience members like use their intuition and eliminate 3 of the keys by putting them in the slot in the top of the lockbox. So we get to like, oh, you know, are we going to lock away your shit? So
Yeah,
it is
that's
like,
fun.
it's low enough stakes that like they could just take the lockbox away at the end of the show. Like no one's going to die, but it's like a stakes enough that is like fun and
Totally.
interactive. And yeah, I will have a sense of which key it is, and then it is me hopefully gently guiding the person without them realizing to make sure they're picking the wrong.
Because I do think everybody everybody obviously has tuition, and I think that people don't know how to tap into it. So that's nice to give them a little exercise.
Yeah.
To kind of feel their way around the world a little better.
Yeah. Do you feel like everyone, you know, like what do you feel like everyone can like strengthen their intuition to a level where they appear to be psychic, or just some people just not have it, even if they worked for the rest of their lives?
I often describe it like learning a musical instrument. Like, you know, some people can just pick up a guitar and they're incredible, and some people can learn for 20 years and they can just about play Wonderwall. Like,
Right.
I think anyone can do it, but like there are just some people who have a natural aptitude. And I think a lot of it is like actually being interested in other people, like being willing to center love them. And then like, I think everyone that I've ever encountered that's very interested in divination, it also has some sort of anxiety disorder because
That's so funny.
Because I think it is like the desire to know what's happening in the future is to have that comfort.
Yeah.
So you're drawn towards those things by saying like, right, how do I not feel absolutely wrecked every second of the day that life is chaos?
Yeah, because I kind of have a joke about that. It's more about crystals, but like it's about everything. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't believe in them because I've never met anyone doing crystals who has crystals who's doing well. And like, it is a joke, but it also is based in truth. And like, sometimes even though I am interested in this stuff and it makes me want to believe, everyone who I meet who is super into it, then you go, if this is like, everyone is like this, no one seems to be doing okay.
And it's every life coach you've ever met where you're like, so heal yourself before.
Yeah. Oh, you therapy girl.
Yeah.
And I think, it's those things that like just get you through the day. And I think it is that tipping over when you're like, oh, this helps me understand, like, you know, going to a psychic every now and then to be like, oh, I just want to reflect and have a fun time. Fine. But when it's like anything, when you go like, I need this to know.
Yeah, the meaning you subscribe to it is all the difference, I imagine. Because some people, like you're talking about, Corinne, so many people put too much meaning into this, and they cling to the tarot cards, and they cling to what they mean, and have it be black and white.
And I always say, like, I used to say when I did the private readings and in the show, I say, you know, like, I'm going to tell you what I'm getting. If I'm wrong, just say no. Like, that's fine. Like, I don't mind being wrong. And if I say something, and like, I can only get to like, I do like maybe 12, 15 readings in a show.
That's a lot, man.
And like, I try and I think like being on the phone lines was good training for that, to be like, let's just get to the point as quickly as possible. Because if someone's paid for 10 minutes and we don't get anywhere, they're going to complain, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But like, you know, that's 10% of the room some nights, and like, I want to get to everyone. So I say to them like, hey, if I'm giving someone else a reading and you hear something that really resonates with you, take it.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't have to be for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be about your life. You can go, oh, that's a bit like me. I'll take that.
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah. Laura Lynn Jackson would say that. I've been to like 6 of her. She does these 90-person readings in Long Island in the Spiritual Center, and she'll say, you know, she'll get like she calls it a me too. Like if I say something and it's the same situation, and she says like, you could say me too if I'm saying something that resonates with you, and then there's some things she'll say And like the whole room will go, oh my God, me too. And then she'll find that like people in similar situations sit next to each other, like
Yeah.
people who've just lost a spouse or something. And that's so interesting. How do you believe in like spirit guides?
I am very on the fence with like, all of that. And I've had a lot of interesting experience. Like I know a bunch of mediums. Like it's
Okay.
not something I've ever experienced. And like, that's one of the other reasons that like psychic is in inverted commas, because I know that when people see psychic, they often immediately go, oh, medium.
Oh.
And trying to like educate that like, mediums are psychics, but not all psychics are mediums.
Yeah, correct. You guys don't know that? Come on now.
And it is sort of, and even with like the instructions, I have an audio that plays at the start of the show that says, right, I want everyone to think of a question you'd love to ask a psychic, the sort of thing you call up a psychic phone line about, but do keep in mind it's a comedy show, so nothing too depressing. Like,
Okay.
Nothing about dead people, nothing about your health conditions, but like, if it's messy, if it's like a piece of gossip, like something like that, something fun, fair game.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And even then, I'll sometimes tune in with someone and they're just like, but everyone that's dead that I know. And I'm like, I can't
mean,
help you.
Bro, did you not hear me?
It's
We've done
hard
that
to
a
get it
lot.
off your mind, though,
Yeah.
if that is your situation. I get it.
Yeah, and I try my best to like in all of the messaging make it very clear. Like we're not doing dead people. That's like if you want to do that, like there are a bunch of other people
Right.
that are great at it. That's not my bag.
That's not your area of
Yeah.
expertise.
Well, it's good to know your lane,
Yeah.
you know, and to educate other people.
I think it's really easy for people that like are in the sort of the woo spaces to suddenly become like a Swiss Army psychic as well and be like, oh, and I can talk to this and I can do this, because they're all like slightly overlapping.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it must be hard to not start believing your own hype if people are crying, in your arms nightly.
Yeah, it's I mean, I think nothing is better for the ego than going back to the green rooms that some comedy clubs have after the
Wow,
show.
for
And you're
that-
like, I crushed it. And then you walk in and it's an empty room with a single chair. And you go,
Right.
oh, yeah, I'm not.
If you're lucky, it has
You
a
ain't
door.
shit.
You're not
Yeah.
in the office with the same guy writing your check. That's my favorite. When you're just like, oh,
Hey,
I
easy
need
W9.
attention. I know.
And I spent a lot of my 20s hosting burlesque shows in the UK.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, fun.
So I was on a burlesque tour for like 4 years. So we'd play in the biggest theatres in the UK. This, 3,000 people have come to watch a burlesque show.
Wow.
I'm the first person they see. And you can
"Where are your
feel
titties?"
you
Yeah,
feel
they're
the
mad.
audience be like, oh no.
You're not a hot chick, yeah.
And so that was very good at like destroying any sort of ego I have there of like,
Right.
oh, no one's come for this. Like, let me work for it. And even now when people have like bought tickets to see me and have like, oh, I follow you on Instagram. Like I did a show in Vancouver a couple of months ago and someone had flown from Toronto because I didn't have any other
Wow.
Canadian dates.
Oh, wow.
They really wanted an answer.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is bonkers to me. Like, don't do, I'll probably be nearer to you. Like, don't do that. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I still have like the like embarrassment about like being
Aw.
someone. that-
That's very British of
Yeah.
you.
They need to get
It's very
away
European.
from something.
Yeah,
Also, do you have the law in the UK about like it has to be like you have to note that it's for entertainment purposes the way we have in the US?
I think that is like slightly weaker. Like TV shows do it. There's not really any medium shows on British television anymore. We had a couple.
Really? Because
Uh,
England, I find, is like very spiritual. I'm also into the alien thing. I'm just very curious about that one. England has a lot going on. England's like a weird little vortex of energy.
Yeah, I think like it's a weird place where like religion is sort of dead in the UK.
Interesting.
Where it's a very different cultural experience. Like in the UK, loudly proclaiming how much you believe in Jesus and stuff is kind of like saying to someone like, oh, I'm really into BDSM. You'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, like that's fine, but don't tell me about it.
Right.
It's like, whereas like over here it was a whiplash to be like, oh, this is something people like.
It's Christ
flag
or
for.
die. Yeah.
But yeah, there is a lot of like alternative belief systems that have like popped up in its place because people need structure to how they exist in the world.
Yeah.
And whether that is, crystals or like being a diehard atheist and like turning science into a religion instead, like there is that structure that exists that we've not quite got rid of yet.
When you tune into people, do you feel their feelings or do you just get thoughts? Like, is it like a steady stream of calm thoughts?
Yeah, it kind of varies. So like if someone, it depends on also like how I'm feeling that day as well.
Yeah,
like
I
if
know.
I've had like a bad day and I'm a bit emotional, like it's very easy just to like pick up other people's emotions.
Oh, it's easier for you. You
Yeah.
don't remain guarded. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, whereas like if I'm just like, oh, chill, and I can logic my way through it,
Yeah.
And it's that same way of like, you know, when you've had a bad day and suddenly you put on the television and there's an advert for a long distance provider and suddenly you're crying at the fact that
Yeah.
you
You're
go
just
like
at a Starbucks and a song comes on and you're like, no.
yeah, and it's the same sort of experience where, but I always try and like, even on those days when I'm sort of slightly more guarded, it's always in the back of my head of like, you know, this is a person, this is a real emotion, like you can't fuck around with this.
Yeah. Do you have off days where you can't, like your powers, your abilities kind of just feel far away from you?
Yeah, and it is a lot of the structuring of the show is having to figure out how to give a consistent product.
Right.
When there are some...
you can't be canceling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't be like, oh, you know, the powers just didn't turn up this day, like... So
but
like,
sometimes that does happen, right?
yeah,
I mean,
and yeah, sometimes it's like, sometimes it feels like pulling teeth, and like, I have an assistant that I onboarded at the start of this year because I just like could not maintain the level of admin. So she doesn't travel with me, but like I'll just send her an update after every show.
Yeah.
And it is very good to have someone else who I can just ring up and be like, oh, I think I should retire. That was the worst show I've ever done.
Right.
And she is like separate enough from it that she can be like, no, just shut up.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine.
Keep going.
And
I mean, also too, if you think about it, like people going to see an event such as this, as somebody who's seen many events of this nature, I mean, I guess that's their own person's responsibility that you can't really control, but you have to kind of check your own expectations of like, I'm purchasing a show to see a person give a group reading that's just so, like, it's there's no guarantees.
Yeah.
Even when I see like Laura Lynn Jackson, who I've seen so many times blow me away, I'm like, that doesn't mean she doesn't, she can't have an off night.
I think that is like, again, like a very performer perspective though, because like we know what it's
You're
like.
only as good as your last show.
Yeah. Whereas like, yeah, audiences expect like, oh, this is the McDonald's of entertainment. Like this burger has to be the same every time.
Yeah, they don't care about the fucking process.
Yeah.
So let's get into your personal life before we do a reading. You mentioned, I think this is so funny. You have to you toy with this like desire to feel mysterious and in a romantic relationship. I assume that's what you meant.
Yeah, I think like there is the expectation like when they've seen the show, like I am someone who is like doling out advice and like seeing people, and there is this like sort of smoke and mirrors. And I think it's the same with any performer. Like the person you see on stage is not that person.
Yeah.
It is like the perfectly curated version of that person.
Yeah.
That has been like road tested in front of hundreds of audiences to be like, oh, you like me when I say this. Okay, I understand.
That's so funny because it's the complete opposite as a stand-up comedian. This is the worst version of me that you're going to see. This
and I'm going to lean in.
I would never allow anyone to see my stand-up before they knew me in person if I like thought dating was on the table. That would be like so
most
crazy.
Comics do that. Well, female comics, I would say.
That would be so crazy.
But you have anxieties.
Yeah.
Around what? Like what are your main anxieties?
I think just like, like the me on stage is the most like, I was thinking of it like a duck. Like I'm very calm on the surface, everything's fine. And then like actual Peter is the mad pedaling underneath.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to have to like mask all the time.
Oh my God,
give
no, it's so
like
exhausting.
that experience of just being like, oh, I'm calm and I know what's going on. Like,
yeah.
And I think that is
showing someone your messy side can be a little anxiety inducing.
And I think that like, meeting someone at the show always feels like a bit of a no-go for me as well. Because like there is that power imbalance and like I just don't like any of it.
Yeah, it feels weird. It feels very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, male comics do that a lot. And I was, like I've had a couple guys hit on me after the show. I'm like, no, we cannot. No, it just feels too weird.
Yeah.
What when you get like, what's your messiest? Peter. What's messiest Peter do?
I'm like a very anxious person. It's taken like a very long time to like get a handle of that. And there are like ways that I've like grown out of it and then ways that I've just like coped with. Like I am terrified of bed bugs, like traveling around. It's like a big concern for me.
Okay.
So I have like a whole bed bug routine when I book the hotels, I'm checking all the reviews, but then like I do a full room check. And then anything that goes into the hotel room with me goes in a black garbage bag, like a contractor bag that goes in the bath. And then I'm wandering around the hotel room butt naked until it's time to leave.
Okay.
And then like,
Check
and those
for
things
black
where I'm like,
dots.
oh, I know that that's like unhinged thinking.
Yeah.
And also that's a thing that allows me to operate in the job that I do. And you go like, oh, like having someone else see those moments where I'm like, oh, this is just how I need to deal with this mental illness.
Yeah.
Right. Why specifically bed bugs?
did
Have
you
you
have-
ever had an experience with them?
I've had a couple of like weird experiences with bed bugs and like I know how hard they are to get rid of and stuff. And like my apartment is like, yeah, the place that I can fully just like unclench, everything's okay. And I need to maintain that as like a sanctuary space that I can like not have to worry about. And the idea of like, because I don't care about being bitten by bed bugs. I care about bringing them back to my apartment.
Sure.
And then not having a like place where I'm like, this is clean and tidy. And like,
Oh, it's a nightmare. There's no arguing that.
Yeah, New York. I've known a few New Yorkers who've had bed bug ordeals, and they cry. There's a lot of tears involved. It's very stressful. So that makes sense.
And yeah, they're so difficult to get rid of. You have to throw away a bunch of stuff because like they really like the glue in books. So like you have to.
The books?
Yeah.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Oh, if bed bugs got to my books, I would cry.
Yeah. So it's like, and there's like loads of bits like that where I'm just like.
But is this isolated or do you have obsessive compulsive disorder? And I'm asking that as someone who has obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah, I think I just have like general anxiety disorder. Like it took me, until the last like 3 years, I would have like the worst like existential dread panic attacks that would last for weeks sometimes.
Right.
Wow.
And
weeks,
just,
damn.
and just like performing was the only thing that would kick me out of it for that time. And then I go back. And I think that was also really difficult for partners to see because they'd be like, well, you're fine there. And I'm like, yeah, but like.
Yeah, the stage is better than you. Deal with it.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
I think
like,
every performer feels that.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. You're talking to speaking to the crowd. This is very
yeah, a friend of mine always described it as doctor stage. Like it doesn't matter what's wrong with you. You go to doctor stage and you feel better for a bit.
Yes, it's cathartic. You can be yourself. Also, too, you're beloved in the audience. They're excited. They want you to do well, and that's a nice little energy exchange.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why the stage you can be like safely the best version.
And then you go away and you're straight back to being like, oh God, I can't
this
breathe.
sucks. This again? Yeah.
And yeah, like I stopped drinking caffeine in 2013 for that reason as well. Because like I was on the burlesque tour, I was just living on caffeine, and then like that was contributing to these week-long panic attacks. So I was like, oh, I know I can't do moderation, so I'm just going to stop.
Yeah. Do you meditate?
Every now and then.
Yeah.
I find the like.
It's a little scary, especially if you have anxiety. It could be a little.
Yeah, I much more prefer like sort of zoning out in a task, so like sort of active meditation, like like sit and just like don't think of anything. No, but like go and like paint this thing or like do this thing, and like that sort of much more active meditation, which I think is also like a much more achievable thing for people to get on board with as well. Like 100%. I think when you say to someone like, oh, consider meditation, yeah, they're thinking like sat in the lotus position, like. And you go like, no, it can just be like, you know, paint a wall in your house and just like don't. And I find like driving quite useful like that as well. Like, okay, I'm in charge of this giant death machine.
Yeah.
And I just need to drive 300 miles to the next show and not die.
No pressure.
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't have a lot of anxiety around a lot of things, which is weird because I do have OCD, which is like in the anxiety disorder, but I don't like feel anxiety a ton. But like driving, I think it's fucking crazy that everyone's just driving around. Yeah.
I also
like, this is very high stakes, people.
I didn't learn to drive until 2022 as well. Because I like didn't need to in the UK. I could tour on trains and buses and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got to America and I was like, oh shit, I need to drive.
In some states, the drivers are on meth.
I really like driving in New York City.
I do too.
Because, like, I know that everyone's in a rush and they're all pushing, but like there is a logic to it. Whereas like driving in LA, it's like everyone's in a rush, but they've forgotten where they're going.
They're all stoned. Yeah.
And they're weaving in and out and stuff. Whereas like I think as well, growing up in London, like when I'm in New York, I'm like, oh, I understand this city.
Right.
Like, it is.
I would say London and New York have the most in common out of all the cities for sure. That's really so. Have you had what does your relationship history look like? Have you had long-term relationships?
Yeah, it's mostly like long-term relationship to long-term relationship, and almost none of them have been in the performing field. Like my longest ex was a director. That was sort of the closest we got, and it is that ongoing challenge of like wanting to be with someone who like understands the industry. But then also being like, oh, but like dating another comic seems...
Yeah, it can be a lot.
Yeah, it can be messy and like, don't shit where you eat and stuff.
Who is it says? One headshot per relationship?
One headshot per relationship.
Yeah, that's British Fox.
So a director really wouldn't have, I mean, like they would have some kind of a press photo, but not a headshot in that sense.
Yeah.
No photo shoots. And did they see your anxieties and did that go okay?
Yeah, it was okay for a while, I think, but then like they had their own issues as well that sort of began to grow as well, and it was
and then it just it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah,
it blows up in your face, and you're like
there's two people going through things at the same time, and like we're still very cordial. Like there's no hard feelings, but I think we both were just like
Yeah.
we can't both be having a breakdown at the same time.
I know. It's so annoying. One breakdown at a time.
Do you find like that there's any kind of a pattern in your relationships, like feedback that you're consistently getting from your exes that you're like, oh, okay, well, I probably should fix that because if everyone's giving me the same feedback, then certainly it's true.
I know that like really focusing on my job is like a big feedback. Like
that's negative.
Women hate that.
You know, like you're away a lot. Like this is something.
You're signing up for that though.
Yeah, and I think I'm always like back and forth on that because I'm like, yeah, like, and then when I am home, like, I don't. If I've got a week off, I don't want to go on vacation. I want to stay at home and like nest and have that sort of experience.
Yeah,
refresh.
And yeah, I understand like if you are working a 9 to 5 in an office, like vacation means going somewhere.
Yeah.
And it is just like an incompatibility that like I wrestled a lot with, like, am I in the wrong for this? And then had to just be like, no, it's just, we're just on different paths and like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea, like your silence is very sacred. So to have like and especially your specific art involves so much energy of your emotions and stuff that you just want to stare at a wall at the end of the day, I imagine. That's really cool. So yeah, you want to do a reading?
Yeah. Okay. So if you formulate a question in your mind, I'll do my best. I will not necessarily get exactly what you're focusing on. I'll do my best to sort of tap in here and there. And again, same thing, like if I'm on a path where you're like, not for the podcast, if there is any subject not for the podcast anymore. But
I'm a pretty open book, yeah.
Yeah. So as I say, yeah, when most people think of a question, it's about like sort of travel, health, education, romance, career, ambition, money. It's going to be romance because that's the theme of the podcast. So, and you are in nothing but a professional, so stay on brand, keep pushing forward. And this is a feeling of much more of like a rug pull situation. Like you are, I don't think that there has been a rug pulled currently, but it feels like you've got that anxiety at the moment where you're anticipating a rug pull.
Sure.
Because your pattern recognition, you're seeing it again and again, and you're like, oh, this is the point where something happens always. And you are beginning to build up a suit of armor. This feels like you're starting to distance from people. And I do not just, you seeing someone at the moment? This feels like, I do not think just distance with them, but almost distance with everyone. Because I think that you're trying to process a situation. And this feels like you intellectualizing something before it happens. So you can avoid feeling the emotion because you've been through this emotion before. So you're like, oh, I understand this. So let me think through it so that when it happens, I'm not going to feel as sad. And in your head, it almost feels like it happened. It's already, like you're already on the path to like, oh, this is, I don't know if they're watching. Like this is like you anticipating a breakup almost.
Sure.
And you being like, oh, let me just work through that, like pre-game the breakup. And I think, but you've not brought this up with them in like...
It has. That's a yes. So I have. Yeah.
This feels like you've been holding back on this though. I don't think that this doesn't feel like you've expressed, this feels like you've been doing your PR version of this conversation.
Sure.
Much more than like, actually, this is what I think.
Yeah.
And I think because you've put this guard up, this is because you're doing like, I don't want to be vulnerable in this section.
Right.
When actually what you're saying is, I don't want to be weak in this moment. Whereas like the vulnerability doesn't necessarily save the relationship, but it makes this transition better because vulnerability is not about being weak. And again, I think this whole situation is you knowing things intellectually, but not feeling them emotionally. And that's the disjoint. And that feels like something that crops up a lot for you is that you're like, I know this, like why the fuck do I feel this? This feels like a sentence you'd say to your therapist a lot of just like, why do I feel like this? Because I know this is stupid. And like the way that this is feeling is like, you're on the edge of this. You're already looking at the next thing. And you're like, I want like the final relationship, the one that lasts long. And even though you've got someone at the moment, you've kind of like, right, delete, thank you, next. The full Ariana Grande vibes.
Yeah.
And you just want to know whether like that's for you or whether you have to keep doing this little pattern again.
Yeah.
And I think that like we're always slightly doomed to repeat those patterns until we break them. And I think that this like moving from intellectually knowing to feeling it and separating that like vulnerability and weak. Because you're like a very powerful person who talks about things and like knows and is open. And I think that can become a bit of a smokescreen, because it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm open about everything. So it's like, you know, the razzle dazzle, then you're hiding the things that like you actually want to talk about, because like, oh, I was open about all of that stuff. Don't look in that box.
Sure.
And I think it's that box that unlocks like a longer relationship.
Okay.
And I think that that's kind of the thought here of like, you know, for lasting romance, it's about, you've dropped one mask, but surprise, it's like at the end of a fucking Scooby-Doo episode with you, that there is a second mask that you've been holding back.
Yeah.
And I think like, as wonderful as like the vibe of this podcast and the way that you approach that is, it's formed like a useful distraction from you actually having to be like, oh, and now I'm going to be vulnerable. And I think that's kind of the route forward here.
Yeah.
I think that, you have somewhat checked out of this relationship at the moment. And I think having more of an honest discussion, because I think when you're having this discussion, you're telling them how you feel. What you're admitting is those areas where you don't know, when you're like, I have this and I don't know what to do with it.
Sure.
Because that feels unkind to say to someone else. But I think that is the point that breaks this cycle of not really communicating.
Saying the unkind, the thing that might be unkind?
I think clear is kind, like, and but the messiness is part of the communication. And I think so often what we want to do is say, I feel this way, declarative statement. And actually, like, that's again like a smokescreen from being like, hey, I have these conflicting feelings and we are in a partnership and I want to hand you both of these and say, right, how do we pick this apart? Whereas what you're trying to do is, hand a declarative statement to someone. And I think beginning to just say like, hey, here's a messy thought. And that's the vulnerability there that you've kind of been like clenching onto.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good. Can I read my question? Can I tell you my question?
Yeah.
My question I wrote down before we started talking is genuine love in the cards for me?
Genuine love in the cards.
Genuine romantic love ever in the cards.
Okay, I was wondering how heavy yours, like how broad and heavy your question was, or if it was like specific. Because I always ask like crazy big questions.
Yeah.
And then I feel like a lot of times this kind of work is working in much smaller pieces.
Yeah.
And like obviously because the universe isn't going to give us a big answer at once.
Or an instruction manual.
Well, because it's kind of like, it's like we can't cheat, the misery of this world.
I know. It's all I want to do, though.
So what can you, I mean, because I was mostly, I kind of know Christina well enough to know what her face was looking like during that, but like, I was trying to watch you, because so like, what can you tell us without, I don't expect you to give away what you're doing, but like, is there anything that you can walk us through and how, because that was pretty accurate, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So to recap, so like you said, you wrote it down. Like I said to you before we started recording, like just get a question in mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I found, especially in situations like this, people are so focused on being like the presenter that they lose track of who they are as a person. So it's really useful just to say like, hey, think of something, maybe note it down. Like, but to be clear, like you didn't tell me when like.
Yeah, no.
And while we're interviewing you, like because that was written at the top of this, is that in your mind or are you?
No, not at all. Yeah, when I start, that's when I drop it.
Okay.
And then having like a phrasing to a question, because when you have someone, like think about something in their life, you get like your experience of like everything big.
Yeah.
Whereas when you say like, right, no, boil it down to a question you could ask, then people start labeling what they actually want to know, which reduces the size of what they're focusing on.
Sure.
And then like you can begin to pick apart that question, because almost always people are asking the wrong question.
Yeah.
So it's about like forcing someone to decide on a question, so then we can pick that apart and say, what are you actually saying here?
Okay.
So like lasting romance is not like the actual question that you're asking there.
Yeah.
It's about having this pattern that you're repeating.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm pretty clear on this current relationship is kibosh.
Yeah.
So that seems pretty clear to me. But then but then my question is so woe is me. It's like, is it ever gonna happen? Not that I sit around waiting for it, but it's like, the pattern of like just love being kind of not really all there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, it's a lot about that. And so as I'm like sort of zoning into like the areas, it feels like, those like old 90s computer games where they've got like the fog because they couldn't render the whole map. So like you've got like the little fog, and it's a little bit like that as I'm going down the path and going like, okay, it's this. And then the next bit comes to me and I've got, like, and it's often like little mental images in my head as well of just like, this little box that's like, don't look at that.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes I'll say that to people and it's like a good metaphor, and sometimes like I'll be on a reading and I'll say something like, oh, and then there's like, it's like a butterfly of an idea, and they'll be like, fuck, I have a butterfly tattoo and that means that to me, and it's like, bang, yeah.
Because obviously, like you're looking at her, and like if something's connecting, you're gonna then draw on that, right?
Yeah, and like I'm also very adamant in the shows as well that like people are allowed to say no to me. Like I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But often I will stick with an idea because I'm like, no, I'm getting this, and like if the answer is no at the end of this, fine. But I'm gonna dig in a little bit more, because it is. Often you'll find people that will say like, no. And I'm like, okay, I think you're saying no context. And I want to like specify this a little more.
Because it knocks at your door, so to speak.
So like there where you're like, no, we have had the conversation. And I'm like, no, but there's a conversation not being had here.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is in like my poor expression of a thought to someone else. Or sometimes that is someone like pushing away of being like, yes, like we've talked, but like, have I said the thing I want to say? And those kind of overlap against each other. And I'm trying to get to one point and someone's being like, no, we have talked. And I'm like, okay, but really though.
Right.
Yeah.
And I found like very useful in the show, sometimes when someone is not engaging with something that like I feel really strongly about getting from them.
Sure.
I'll just look over my glasses at them and instantly they go, yeah, no, you're right. Like I do.
That's so funny.
They can't escape it.
Yeah. And I think
funny.
like it's, yeah, if you want to say no, like as I say, like I'm fine with being wrong. I've been wrong more time. When I did America's Got Talent, I was wrong on live television in front of 80 million people. Like,
Are you serious?
yeah.
Fuck.
So Sophia, she grabbed a photo from a packet of photos, and the idea was like doing like psychometry with photos. Like I wanted her to look at the photo and think about it. And she had just been planning her son's birthday before they went live, so she'd like been on the calls, and like that's what I got as opposed to like what she was looking at.
Oh, okay.
So I went down this path of like, oh, you're thinking about a birthday and like cake and stuff. So then, like, you know, in the 6 minutes you have on NBC, you kind of go, well, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And then, like, in a show situation, I would have dug more into that to be like, okay, like, that's not what you're looking at, but like,
You were right.
yeah, but like to a watching audience, they go, look, the goal was you think of a photo, focus on that photo, and I'm going to try and pick up the emotions from that.
But like, I feel like sometimes people, especially like in this instance, it's like, okay, well, like maybe she was half-heartedly thinking about the photo, but like what was really weighing on her was her son's birthday party, because even when you're at work, you have other things going on in your life. So like, there's been many times when I'm here doing the show, but like I'm thinking of my, sorry, I know you don't like this dead dad, but like, you know, so like,
he's allowed to be dead.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
But yeah, like, you know, so, but it's like, I'm still participating. It's not that I don't care. It's just like something else is heavier, you know? That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you were not wrong.
Yeah, you weren't wrong.
yeah, and it's,
right.
and you think, yeah, I'll sometimes dig in and like, occasionally I go like, you know what, we're going to come back to that in a minute, because like sometimes it will make sense once I've gone round. And I know that sometimes that's just a limitation in my ability to explain an idea I'm having to someone else. And
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's so like that's stand-up comedy 101. I'm like, when you're like working out a new joke and you're trying to explain, like have the audience see it from your viewpoint, and you're like, I know this is funny, I just have to figure out how to phrase it to you so that you can come on the journey with me.
and then also I'm doing the like British English to American English thing as well.
Oh, right.
So
It's a
like
problem.
there will be occasions where I'm like, oh, I have a metaphor for this, but it is about a 1970s BBC children's show.
We're not gonna get
no.
And yeah, so I'm like, right, how do I explain this?
Right,
in
right.
a I explained the plot of the 1976 film Network to the audience yesterday, because I was like,
movie.
Someone was wondering whether Kanye West is doing a bit.
Okay.
Oh, interesting
It's a long
question.
bit.
And I was trying to like elaborate on like the state of media and like, hey, no, like this person is having a breakdown and the powers that be around him have gone, this is good money.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, it just like the audience weren't really understanding the like the cold-heartedness of the media in that way.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, let me tell you a story. And then I realized I was just explaining a movie from the 70s to an audience. And I was like, this is further away from you understanding at this point. I need to just stop. But like, it's not a bit, just a man is very unwell.
Yeah, no, it's crazy how how much the entertainment business, and I would say politics too, how much of an effect and a relationship they have with our lives, and how little people who are not involved in either of those things understand it. Like, and they think you're crazy. Like, because I've been involved in both, and then I'm just like, people just think you're crazy when you try to tell the truth about either one.
I often try and explain to people, like, I want people to understand media literacy like they understand professional wrestling. But like, you know, there is a kayfabe.
Good American
like,
reference.
Yeah, they are doing a performance, but also like that person who is pretending to be Hulk Hogan is not actually called Hulk Hogan. They do not actually think you should take your vitamins.
Right.
And like we all need to understand that like this is a bit of a game, and like it's very evident in the British politics scene where like the leaders of the two parties are like, we'll go for dinner with each other, and like they all went to the same school, like
for sure.
And this whole like posturing is a performance put on for our benefit,
Right.
and like understanding it like that and being like, oh, even if that person isn't put in a performance, they're being put in a situation where, and it is like the reality TVification of everything.
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask a psychic question about America?
We're screwed.
Are we gonna be okay?
No, we're fucked.
Yeah, we're fucked, right? It's pretty. I mean, you don't really need seconds for that, but like,
My lawyer
it
emailed.
doesn't feel like it's getting better.
My lawyer called me the other day and was like, "Oh, you're eligible for citizenship next month," and I was like,
Hard pass.
"Okay."
Well, you're white presenting, so that's in your favor.
Yeah, I get every time I go through immigration, I have a bit of an ordeal.
Really?
Big
Yeah.
beard?
I was flagged. I was.
You could be maybe not white in their eyes, maybe, and they might use that against you.
So, exclusive story time from Peter Antonio.
Wow.
In 2018, I was detained by ICE for 3 days.
What?
And put in a detention center.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
I was dating someone in Seattle. I was on the burlesque tour, so we'd do 2-3 months on, and then I'd have a month off. So I'd just fly over to Seattle and hang out with my partner and enjoy being there. And then I visited, and they pulled me out of the line. I didn't even get to the front of the line for immigration. They said, "You come with us." And they were like, "Hey, we think you're working in America." And I said, "I'm not." Like, I had done a volunteer performance for a charity event, which under the rules of the tourist visa is acceptable. You're allowed to volunteer.
Okay, yeah.
You just can't be paid for it.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't do that. Like, and they said, "Okay, we don't care.
Cute.
We think you're working. We have enough suspicion that you are working, so we can deny you entry to the United States, and we're going to."
Oh.
And because you have to fly out on an airline you flew in on, and you flew in on Norwegian Air, and they don't fly for 3 days, you're going to be sent to a nice detention center for 3 days and then removed. And I was officially charged with traveling under the wrong visa, so I was not banned from America, but like it took a lot of work to be allowed back in.
So that stain is on your
So
records.
every time I go through, they are, "Come to the little room, let's look at all your paperwork."
Wow.
So
Wow.
it is.
How was that ICE facility? What was it like?
It was exactly like you'd imagine, like every prison movie you've ever seen. Like they handcuffed me, led me through the airport, prisoner transport van, taken to the detention center.
I actually didn't imagine that. I just thought you were sitting in a room with bright lights.
No, chest X-ray to make sure I didn't have tuberculosis because I looked like a man who hangs out with badgers. And then put into the cell block. There was maybe 60 people in that cell block.
Wow.
They all told me their stories of how they ended up there. There was.
Were you like, "I'm a psychic, you want to get entertained?"
Well, on the second day, they said to me "So what do you do as a job?"
Oh, that's.
And I was like,
Oh my
saying
God.
psychic in this instant feels wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of a magician." So I was like, "This is close enough without having to get into it."
Right.
And then one of them gave me a deck of cards that they'd bought from the commissary and were like, "Show us some card tricks."
Oh.
And thankfully, one of my best friends is an incredible card magician, so he's taught me a couple of very basic tricks.
Okay.
So I start doing tricks for him, and within 5 minutes, the entire cell block is around me.
Good for you.
Screaming
There is.
witch?
Well, there is a guy.
Burn them at the stake.
There's a guy translating in Spanish on one side
Oh
of
my
me.
God, this is so
There's a
fun.
guy.
This is a great gig.
Yeah, guy translating into Punjabi on the other side of me for his family.
Wow.
And then we do 10 minutes, and then the guards come around and say, "We don't know what this is, but break it up. Like we don't like
There's
this."
no fun here.
Yeah, we don't like the whole cell block being gathered talking like this is suspicious. Break it up. But yeah, and then
Wow.
so yeah, anytime I travel, it is
Wow.
a stress, and yeah, it's a lot.
So speaking of travel, you are currently on tour. So this interview is coming out on Friday for Luminary subscribers. They're our hardcore ride or die, so they'll go see you.
Love you.
Where will you be coming up? Where can we find you? Get tickets?
So from November until the end of January, I'm in Vegas, opening for a magician from America's Got Talent, Shin Lim, so I get to host the show there, which is great. It's like a little break from being on tour.
Yeah.
I don't have to travel as much. It's great getting to do like 20 minutes in a show instead of the full 90.
Yeah.
It's a very different show than I do on the road. Like, there's no readings. It's all very light and fun.
Cool.
There's a couple of shows intermittently because the show's dark for a week here or there, so I'll go on the road. And then I am traveling basically every week in 2026.
Amazing.
If you live somewhere, I'm going to be close to there.
Yeah.
So it will
The
be
US you're touring?
Yeah, the
Okay.
US. So all over the US. We're trying to do some UK dates at the end of the year. And then we've been looking at Australia for 2027. I know that's a long time away, but like these things take time. But yeah, it's peterantonio.com/tickets. I never know where I am. Even if you see me on the street and say, "Where are you going tomorrow?" I will pull up my tour website to tell you.
That's
so,
fair.
Yeah.
It's good. You're a working artist. I love that.
Yeah. So we're going everywhere. I get endless comments on Facebook being like, "When are you coming to my town?" I promise it's soon. Like,
Yeah.
I'm one man traveling
Yeah.
6 days a week. I'll get to you. I promise.
Do the best for him.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Peter. This
No,
has been
thank
Thanks
you.
great.
for
I
telling us.
appreciate it.
Yeah, this is great. This has been Guys We Fucked, the anti-slut shaming podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday.
I've only had threesomes with one guy and one girl.
Okay.
He knows I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything with him.
Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun.
Oh, you're having a real bi kind of meltdown, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, that sounds fun. Smoke cigar.
We are here with stand-up comedian Ali Colbert. So happy to have you on the show.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm really happy to talk to you because
Yeah.
you're very funny, but you're also gay.
Yeah,
And
mainly gay.
I'm really,
What, are you struggling?
yeah, but there's this part of, I've dated women before, but the idea of being gay, which might sound like insulting. I don't mean to insult like your entire life, but like just sounds better. It sounds better. It makes
How
more
is that
sense.
insulting?
I don't know, because I'm not thinking of the struggles if there are struggles
She's
with it.
appropriating gay
Oh, yeah, if
culture.
there
Yeah.
are struggles, which famously there are none, especially right now.
Yeah,
Zero. Being gay is so not better.
it's not.
Oh
Damn
my
it.
God, no.
I really have this
The
fantasy.
grass
that it
is always greener.
Yeah.
I mean, I have also not to be rude, but I have no interest. I mean, I really have interest.
I have
in the
interest.
sex that I'm interested in.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
I'm barely there with men.
Totally. No, I think being gay, this is like one of the more surface level issues with being gay, is that you can't really, if you have, this is offensive. You can't,
Say it.
It's harder to go out and just like make it happen night of with a woman as a lesbian. It's like when my friends go out and they're like, straight people are like, oh, maybe I'll meet someone. It's like, what am I going to do? Like, first of all, if I go to a gay bar, none of the women I want to date are at the gay bar. If I go to a party, it's like, okay, maybe there's like someone who's like questioning, who it's like, I'm not going to close a deal that night. I have to like take a woman to upstate New York and like hear about her sister for like a week. Like, it takes
this is
so
how,
long.
In my head, this is how it was going, which was why I was like, I can't. I'm already tired.
It's awful.
But wait, so but is the problem that so many lesbians that we talk to are only interested in people who might be lesbians? That's what the issue seems like. Every fucking lesbian we have on the show is like, actually, I only like women who have been straight their whole lives, but I might be the first woman that they sleep with.
Yeah.
What is the appeal with that?
I don't like that is a pattern that I am trying to break.
Okay.
Like, I see that that's what's happened and I'm trying to do it. And by the way, I'm going to speak in huge generalizations throughout this entire episode about the gay
Perfect.
community.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad.
So just, if I'm saying something that offends you, just like shut the fuck up. But like,
right?
I'm not like attracted to like big butch dykes.
Yeah.
That's not my thing, okay?
This is our Pride episode. It's coming late this year.
I'm just not into it.
Right.
So the women that I'm generally attracted to happen to be more feminine, and then they're pulling all of this shit about them being confused and bi, and so that's coming with the package.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm not like dating these line cooks. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's not the type of gay I am.
No Leah Delaria
I'm not
for
that,
you.
No, I'm not that type of gay. If I was, maybe it'd be easier. I'm sure that we could have those guys on and they would talk about how it's really hard out there on the softball field.
Sure. But also too, like, I mean, you're attracted to who you're attracted to. So who gives a fuck? It is what it is. Like, you can't, it's not good or bad. Like, so shut the fuck up, indeed. But also, like, those butch lesbians, they have such a masculine energy, more masculine than most men I've dated, that you might as well be straightish. Like, it's
very confusing.
That's a whole different type of lesbian. I'm like,
There's
you really
so many
want
types.
you want to date? I guess they're dating women that are wearing 1950s male tuxedo shoes.
Yeah.
And shaved heads, and they're saying, "Call me Scooter." And if you're into that, you're into that. It's never been my thing.
Yeah.
That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm stuck fingering girls named Chloe that can't get over their ex-boyfriend.
Sucks.
I'm not thrilled about that either. That's just what it looks like. I'm just being honest.
You know, it's so funny. I have a guy friend who's bisexual, and he's like, women are so fucking frustrating because I want to fuck them just as much as I want to fuck guys, but I know if I want sex, I have to go on Grindr.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's interesting. I met a girl recently, and I haven't really been dating like intentionally. Like I'm not on apps. I'm not looking for dates. Like, if I go out with you and it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I went on like one planned date for the first time in the last like 10 months, 2 weeks ago. And this girl was like, I think we had been talking for a while. And then for a minute.
Yeah.
And then I put my phone down and I stopped it. I was just like, it's hard for me to get excited about a stranger.
yes, correct.
I'm like, why am I like texting with this like chatbot? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Then I saw that movie Honey Don't.
I haven't seen that.
I didn't see it.
It's like a hot lesbian movie with like Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley.
Okay.
And they had this hot moment.
Ooh.
Like a really hot sex scene. They're like fingering each other at the bar. So I was like, I should text that girl again.
To finger at the bar.
Because I was turned on and I was like, hey, I'm watching this movie and like, it's so hot. I thought about you. And she was like, oh my God, we should go out and recreate that scene.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
See, this is what I think dating a girl would be like.
So I was like, this has never happened.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And then the next day we went to get a drink and I was like tired. I like wasn't ready. Like I got tired. I don't know. And she's younger than me by a minute. She's 16. And, no, she's like 25 or something. She was like, I was like, I'm so tired. I want to go home, but like, this was really nice. And she's like, what? Thought you were gonna fuck me. Why won't you fuck me? Fuck me. Fuck me. I was like, ugh. Okay, fine. She was like, let's get a bottle of wine and go back to your place. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not getting a bottle of wine. We could do 30 minutes at my place. You can't sleep over. I have to be up early the next day. Like, it's not gonna be what you think, but fine. She comes over, it's 30 minutes, it's in and out. And then she's like, I have a workout class the next morning. Like, please, I'm sorry. I was like stressing out. I was like, you can come over, but you can't sleep there. And please don't expect much. Da-da-da. The next day she texted me like, how was the workout class? I was like, this is why I didn't want to do it. I didn't want this text the next day.
Yeah.
The sex wasn't worth it.
I would think a woman's...
Seems like a great partner to me. Maybe I am a lesbian. I love this. This is the energy I've been looking for.
Yeah, it sounds great. I would be so hesitant to go home with a man I met that night.
Yeah.
I've done it when I was like 20, but like nowadays, no, I would not do it. A woman? Yeah, I would, because my safety's not at risk.
Oh, totally. I'm not going to kill
So, like,
you.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But
That's
you're gonna
really nice.
but like your safety's not at risk. But like to me, I'm like, this is almost what she just explained is almost as bad as getting murdered.
To you, not to me.
Just the thought of like my phone blowing up the next day with just like a bunch of like single line text messages, that is stressful.
I just don't want to do this like water cooler chit chat because I fingered you for a minute.
Yeah, that I hate.
It's like
that I
bizarre.
would hate. Yeah.
And then she was doing this thing that like, and this is another, whatever, this is like a lesbian conversation that we could have for a while, but she's like, how do I make you come? How do I make you come? I'm like, that's not going to happen. There's no me coming right now. Don't even try.
Is it because
and she's
you're
like,
emotionally
why?
like-
I'm like,
oh.
because I have to be relaxed in order to come. I'm
Right.
stressed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want you to leave.
Yeah.
The whole time. This is spiritual rape.
Yeah. Wow, so it really isn't greener on the other side.
No, it's not greener. It's the women are so bad. They're bad.
What are they doing?
They're just like exhausting emotionally. They don't say what they mean. They do this whole, I don't want a relationship. You do. You do want a relationship.
Are you bad though? Then too?
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm completely flawed. I'm not good.
So what are some not good things that you have been exhibiting in relationships?
I'm like a dating porn star. Like I'll do all the tricks, but then I just don't deliver. I cash. I am writing checks. I do not cash left and right.
Yeah.
I'm on the fucking run from these bitches.
Do you have, so you don't get vulnerable with the women you date? I mean, or it would take a long time for you to get vulnerable.
I think the truth is that like when I fall in love, and I used to fall in love like when I sneeze.
Yeah, right.
I fall so hard that right now my walls are up so high that I'm just like, not.
Yeah, you can't.
But was it actual love, or have you like, you know, because sometimes, you know, when you fall in love with a new person, then you go, oh, was that last thing even love, or were they all loves as far as you're assessing right now?
I mean, some of them really were, and some of them, like my last relationship, which I've done a great job of mentioning on every podcast in the last 10 months.
That's how we do.
Which my ex loves. She actually was writing to all the podcasts saying, take down these episodes where you talk about me, because it's so interesting. Cheaters get really upset when you talk about how they cheated.
Oh.
They go
how dare you talk about what I did and your experience of it.
But
they
do
go
we know
crazy.
who this person is?
I mean, no, she's a private person, and
so then it doesn't
people. I'm like, you're not even
matter.
No one cares
I know.
No
to
one
name
knows.
you.
No, I know. It's like drives me crazy, but now I like to bring it up more.
Well, don't DM me, lady. We're not taking it down.
Yeah, lady.
Yeah.
But the last
ma'am.
the last relationship I was in, I think I was like feeling these really big emotions that I was I was conflating my desire to get her to just like be with me for like being in love and like obsessed with her when I really just like was waiting for her to like sink into the relationship, but I could just feel her not committing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
How long? Yes. How long were you together total?
We were together for like 10 months, and she was very close with her ex-boyfriend, even though he wasn't physically anywhere near us. He like lived far away, and they were always talking and texting. And she insisted I not talk to my ex, but she was always in contact with him because she's gay. And
because my next question was, is she bisexual?
So at the time she said she was gay.
Okay.
And
jump right to gay with your first girlfriend?
Well, I don't know that I was her first girlfriend, but she you know, was dating me seriously and was like, I'm done with men. Like, I really want to be with you, da-da-da. And his dad, I don't even think she met the dad, passed away. And she said, I'm going to fly to the funeral. And I was like, if you do that, like, we're probably going to break up. And she went there, and when she was there, she like stopped answering her phone and and like I saw her location. She's like at his house, and then she came home. She's like, "You're way too anxious about this friendship. Like he's just my like homie." And now they're obviously in a relationship.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, women are just
crazy.
So she cheated on you with a man.
So she would say, "I didn't cheat on you," and she said this to me. I ran into
her. She emotionally cheated. That's almost worse.
Yeah, I'm like, girl. Okay, you didn't. What did you not like? Okay, you gaslit me and then maneuvered yourself into a new relationship that like eclipsed the end of our last one. Okay, if that's not cheating, fine. I don't know what you want to call that.
Yeah. Oh God, that's so fucking.
Yeah. So now she's with this guy, and it's like the whole thing is the gaslighting's the part that
She sounds narcissistic.
am most offended by, just because it's like I've cheated in the past, and it's like. Just be an adult and be like, I fucked up and I cheated, and like just live with the shame of having cheated, and like that sucks.
90% of the people on this planet have cheated. So you're not special, and two, like the only way to like overcome that part of yourself is to be honest about it.
Yeah, but she's not interested in
that. Doesn't sound like her bag.
Yeah, but that was crazy.
Well, because I was thinking about it, because like there are some exes that I feel like, even though I'm in a relationship now, I would. If their parent died, I actually would want to show up at the funeral. But it was other behavior mixed with this getting on a flight for you that said, if you do that, we're going to break up, or what, you know.
It was like, you know, this was a guy that like she refused to like introduce us.
Oh,
and like
that's very
you know,
suspicious.
like never spoke to him when I was there.
Okay,
like,
okay.
and I was also like, she was like deleting text messages, like every red flag in the book.
Yeah.
Women can't cheat on other women. We're too good at sussing it out.
It's just
we know.
No, but you know, like I basically like let her as Mel Robbins said, I let her. How sad that like we must be in such a bad place that Mel Robbins being like let them is resonating with like everybody.
Well, and she stole that from someone too.
She did, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
But basically, you'd think because I'm a woman and I had this instinct that was like crippling the whole time that it's like you can't cheat on me. But I was so wanting her to like pick me.
Yeah.
I was a pick Misha. That like I just tolerated it and I like confused myself.
The goal, to have it being chosen as a goal in a relationship once it's already started is such an intoxicating goal for the person wanting to be chosen that it creates tunnel vision.
Yeah, it was the most uncomfortable relationship I've ever been in. Like I'm surprised I didn't I lost all this weight. I was like, I mean, I looked good, but
Was the sex good?
I love the far off glance.
Yeah.
because it was so
I take that as a
rare,
no.
the sex. Like,
Oh, really?
that
How
was like
common?
I feel like that was also like an avoidant mechanism of like distancing herself. She was like never down to have sex.
Did that piss you the fuck off?
Like it felt bad. Yeah. I mean, it pissed me off. Like I wasn't like angry about it. I was just like really upset.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
like, why would you be in this relationship if you don't want to be in the relationship?
Why was I in this relationship?
Yeah.
Because I'm like obsessed with being chosen and like had in my mind that she was this great prize. It's like when I'm like, oh my God, this light on you. It's like, that's my light. The flashlight is like pointing at her.
And also, I want to pitch to you. So, like, I understand a lot of people talk about wanting to be chosen, but I have discovered something that is more fun than being chosen.
Okay,
and it's
hit us.
actually not being chosen, but knowing in your heart that in their heart they'd rather be with you.
What good does that do?
Oh, it's just so much.
Say it again. Say it
Because
again.
you're never gonna dull. You're always gonna maintain in their memory your best self.
Right. I see it.
So it's when you have, maybe you had a will they won't they, maybe you had a short relationship and they don't feel safe for you. So ultimately they choose someone else because you feel unsafe to them.
Yeah.
But you know they still have a
They still
what
think about
if about you in their heart that they will
She's not
carry
wrong.
until their grave.
You know what?
It is more energy. I've cut down on caffeine.
Wow.
Energizing.
I had a guy that I used to hook up with years ago. I hadn't heard from him in a while, and I get a message on my phone, like a text.
Tingles.
He unliked a nude I sent him
Yeah,
5 years
he
ago,
did.
and I go, and he's married or he's engaged, and I go,
Oh my God.
oh, it's the best day of my life.
Let's hear for the girl.
So you're absolutely right.
That
So
is
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
A part of this maybe speaks to what you're saying, but like when I was doing these podcasts and like talking about this breakup a few months ago, my ex kept, not only was she emailing podcasts, but she kept calling my sister
What the? She's
and leaving her voicemails. Yeah, while she was dating this guy in a full-blown new relationship
now
with
she
this
acts
guy.
obsessed with you.
And I'm like, that's kind of my version of that, where it's
Yeah.
like, you're clearly not like good.
Yes, correct.
Like, you good? Like, you're not. You're calling my sister and like leaving her messages,
Did that feel
texting her,
good?
she's being like, hey, you left a hair in my sink 10 months ago.
What?
No, but like the
that
spirit of
nature.
that.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I found a free T-shirt that you left. It's like,
Right.
no one, this
I
is
don't want
not
that.
real.
You
Right.
know you can use that as a dusting rag. You know you can throw that away, bitch.
Right.
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
Exactly. So,
That would give me a smug little smile.
so that's one.
Do you refuse to talk to her, or are you still like, if she texts you, do you respond?
No. She's blocked on everything. Her phone number's blocked.
I
The
hope she
whole
listens to the
thing.
show.
Ever
She
since,
will, obviously.
ever since we broke up, the day we broke up, she's been blocked on everything, and I said I'll never
good.
talk to her again. I'll never let her talk to me.
That's powerful of
I
you.
love that shit.
The day that you broke up to be able to block and keep it, that's strong.
Because I was like, I felt so bad. I would have done anything at that moment. I was like, she has to lose access to me. I'll sober up from her soon.
Yeah.
And like,
Wise,
The-
So
Sally.
smart.
the only time I talked to her was when I ran into her physically
Ooh, did it feel good or
3
bad?
weeks ago. And she was like, let's go sit down. Let's go for a walk. And I was like, no. And she was like, I never cheated on you. And I was like, cheaters litigate the definition of cheating.
Yes. Ooh.
And I was like, can we
Yes.
close out this interaction?
Oh, I love that. So official.
No, I was pretty good. I kind of like Michael Jordan dunked on her.
Yeah,
It was
you
like the
did.
fantasy interaction of running into your ex.
Yes.
God, I've
she
never
would've
had that moment. That sounds great.
Ruined her whole day and sat with me and just like
Yeah.
asked questions that I was like, this is for you.
Right.
And she probably would have
Right.
tried to rope you back in or said something sideways to make you go, huh?
Yeah, she like wanted me to apologize. She
What?
wanted like
For what?
for talking about the breakup. You know, I'm a real person. I'm not a story. She's like, I love you. I admire you. I was like, thank you so much. I don't know. I don't feel that way about you at all.
Wow, you handled that like a G.
Yeah, there was nothing. I like the boyfriend is a hockey player, and I was like, I said, go, his team name. I was like,
Like
go,
a professional
go
hockey
Ducks.
player?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's brilliant. And
Huh.
What's been your favorite relationship? Or
Like sexual
romantic or either or romantic or sexual.
We were
or
thinking maybe like whole package.
we're all lucky both, but you know.
my favorite relationship was I was engaged.
What? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I was engaged like a bit after the pandemic,
Yeah.
and she
Oh, you know what? I didn't know that.
was like my best friend.
Oh,
And that was like that relationship, clearly, because we're not together, was not without its faults, but like she was like so special.
oh,
Now, how does
That's
one?
beautiful.
What?
Yeah.
What? How does
We laughed
one,
all the time.
like break
That's what
off
I
an
liked.
engagement? Who did it? Was it mutual? Like, what does this look like?
It was like really not fun. How does it happen? She's like much older than me, like 8 or 9 years older than me, and wanted to have children. And I think we were in a place where like we wanted to be together so badly that we were willing to like ignore the realities that would undo the whole thing. And we got to a
Yeah.
place where like this is asking so much of you and so much of me to stay in this relationship. And like in order to break up, like we had to get like angry with each other and like just in the shit that
Yeah.
sometimes people are like they want to be friends the whole time, and it's like
that's wild to me.
there was like I was mad at her, she was mad at me, we blamed, and then now it's hopefully okay. Now we don't talk all the time.
Who
That's-
proposed to who?
I proposed to her
How long were you together
3 years.
when you proposed?
No, 2.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
How'd you meet?
We met because she is a yoga, like spiritual LA teacher type, and she had like this event where people were performing stand up, like,
Oh.
and they would take like, I can't remember, it was like plant medicine and movement, and then there was comedy. It was like the most LA thing
LA
ever.
as fuck.
And
This is truly an LA lesbian love story.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it really is. We actually both had like, I kind of had a flirtation with some guy who she was dating, and he introduced us, and I did her show, and then her and I fell in love. I actually wrote a movie about it, and we've cast the movie, and we're filming it next year.
Oh, amazing.
You know what? That's great because when
Fuck
you were
yeah.
telling it, I was like, this is a great movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad it is a movie.
It's like John Tucker Must Die, but the girls fall in
so
love.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, one thing I'm realizing as I hear you talk about your experiences is, I guess, maybe something I was trying to touch on at the top, but I didn't do it articulately. It seems like women, when I'm in a relationship with a man, I'm the one who cares about, like, is this going somewhere? Are we, like, I'm not like every day bugging you about, is this good? And kind of checking in, but I care about the relationship. I care about maintaining it. It's a seed. You got to water it. You got to plant it. You got to nurture it. I feel like women, all like, if you're 2 women are dating, you both give a fuck about nurturing the relationship in
You
a
would
way that
hope.
I don't ever see
My
from a
last
man.
girlfriend didn't
Well,
want to
she was-
nurture. She wanted to
she was
grow
all
weeds
games.
with me.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of women do. The women that like, at least I've felt like they're deeply invested. This maybe is like a gendered biased thing to say, but like it is intrinsically connected to them wanting to have kids. And they're like on a timeline that like, maybe if I was in my 20s, I would be like not as aware of it, but dating in my 30s, I really don't want to like fuck with a woman's like, if she wants to have a kid, I do think it's kind of irresponsible to like date her past a certain amount of time if you're
Yes.
not ready to deliver, and men do this all the time, but like women, like they're on a clock, and like, I know that's not new information.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
dating a woman who's 33, 34, if she wants babies, like, you kind of are interviewing for a specific job.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And no kids for you.
Not now, and like that's like a pressure that like I really don't want to take on
Yeah.
in dating. So like if I'm dating a woman who's like, I want to have kids in the next 2 years, like I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't promise that. So if you're open, that's a different thing. But like I don't want to do that whole thing.
That makes sense.
It's really stressful. Do you guys want kids?
No, but men stress me out about it. So it's interesting because it's the same thing. And like, I agree with you. Like, obviously, like, I don't think there's a lot of timelines for a lot of things in life, but like, there is a biological clock that is ticking if you want to have your own kids at least. And yeah, no, I don't know. I find it annoying.
It's stressful. And you know what's interesting is like you see a lot of couples now that are together for a while and they're freezing embryos.
Yeah.
Right.
This is like a committed couple goes and freezes their embryos. I'm kind of like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. Why are they doing that?
Like, just have kids with your person or don't. It feels like a very interesting like thousands of dollars.
I know a married couple who just, like a straight married couple who just did that.
To me, it's a red flag.
Oh, I mean, it just like seemed like they wanted like a high quality egg. I mean, the IVF process is just like, I think it's a little scammy in general.
I think it's a huge scam.
It's you know, it's capitalism at its best, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like they sell it to you like it elongates a woman's timeline, and it's like, oh, freeze a baby, you can do it whenever you want, and it's really not like that. It's you have to go through so many rounds of IVF to actually yield enough eggs that this will be successful, and even then there can be so many problems. I mean,
yeah, it does sound like the
scammy.
more we
super scammy
progress as a society, and women are like doing what they want more, and you know, kind of prioritizing like their goals before a relationship and all this cool stuff. It does feel like a woman's meant to have kids when she's like 19. Like her body, physically, her body.
Definitely.
Teens bounce back, man.
They do. Well, I mean, the thing about it is like, you know, it's fine if someone wants kids, but like if you're, you know, dating me for a year or 2 years, and then I kind of find out that like even after knowing how great I am, it's you're still choosing kids you don't know over me. Like that, like genuinely like hurts my feelings, and then makes me think like deeper about how is that like the only value that, I mean, in a heterosexual thing that like men think that we have.
Incubators.
So it's interesting to hear it from the lesbian perspective.
Oh, meaning like a guy's like, I want to have kids, and it's not.
I feel like, you know, when they're choosing a wife, it really is like number one is baby maker, 2 is your personality. And I don't love it.
Yeah, I've seen that also. I mean, a lot of men I know that are like late 30s, early 40s dating, their priority is starting a family. It does give that vibe of like,
for sure,
who's going to have the baby? And it's like, that feels offensive. But women are also like, I want a guy to pay for everything. So,
yeah.
I mean, they totally are dating like that in the same way that men. I mean, I think if you date poor, what a mistake.
Oh,
date a poor person. I've been there many times.
I'm always dating poor.
That's brutal.
Have you dated a poor?
I mean, I usually am in a dynamic where I'm paying for most of the things.
Right.
Who decides?
That's why I'm like,
is it because you want to and you just say it first?
Who decides? Who can do it? I like to. I mean, being single now though has been I'm also like I'm kidding a bit, but like I feel like I take on all of this pressure to my I'm trying. It's these gay couples that like put themselves in these straight roles,
right?
Where I'm like proposing and paying for it. It's like, calm down, you're on your period too.
Yeah.
You're not like fooling anyone. You're 5'2".
Yeah.
I don't really know why I'm doing that, but this is the first time I've been single in like a decade.
Really?
Yeah, I was like back-to-back relationships my entire 20s.
This is crazy because it seems like you don't like being
it does.
smothered.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe you're over it. Maybe you're reached a point in your life where you're like, you know what, fuck this. And like during those 10 years, you're like, cool. And then you took a time to slow down, and you're like, oh wait, I don't need to like ask you what you want for dinner. Just go for dinner.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I could be way happier not dealing with someone. I thought it was like the best thing to like find love and have a person. It's actually, once you go through the withdrawals, amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing.
It's
the most
to be
magical
alone.
time. Yeah.
It's so much better.
I love being
It's like taking off a tight shoe.
Being alone.
so nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's so nice. It's like all your money goes to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do anything you want whenever you want.
The energy of considering another person is a lot more energy than you realize until you break up and you're like, oh,
I know.
I could be myself.
I know.
I could be myself. It's amazing.
It's just a treat. So I'm having a nice
Have you
year.
ever like just fucked and not dated?
I guess no, not really. I don't like maybe like there were certain periods where I was doing that, but like I really don't want to like just have sex with someone that I'm like don't care about.
Sure.
You never were, like, even when you were like
No,
super young?
no, when I was younger, I was able to have sex with like someone that I hated.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think that was also just like
So much
drinking.
energy. Yeah, that's
Drinking.
true. Alcohol.
Drinking really helps.
Yeah. It was like it was like validation sex. It was like sex not for like genuinely wanting to have sex. It was like sex that like meant something else to me.
Yeah. I need to feel special in your eyes or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. I read this quote, my therapist told it to me, that I'm obsessed with. That was like, healthy people don't have sex that's not worth having.
Okay.
I don't know what to make of that.
Why did he or she feel the need to
Say that to
say
me?
that to you, Allie?
Because it was after my engagement fell apart.
Uh-huh.
I was in like the peak of my having toxic sex.
Okay.
What was what kind of flavor of toxic sex? There's just such a variety.
Like married straight women.
Oh.
Like really unavailable women.
Interesting.
How do you access such women? Where are you meeting them? Is this app
Sounds
or
like they're
in real
accessing
life?
you.
No app. Real life.
Like post show or in
No, not post show.
Okay.
Like, I mean, no. Like just people that I know that like I feel that like there's like a bi-curious energy and then like
Yeah.
you
The
know.
body's good at telling like scoping out. It's
The
so
body
much-
keeps the score.
Yeah, it does.
The body keeps the
I
scope.
wish it didn't though.
I wish it didn't.
When you fucked the married woman, did she tell you she was married?
Yeah, they always said that they were married. I never didn't know a woman was married.
And at the time, were you like, like, did you like it? Did you not like it? Like, did that add to the, ooh, shouldn't do this?
Yeah, Lord.
No, it's not. No, usually it's exhausting that
Yes.
they're married. It's
Yeah.
not like a perk.
Yeah.
It's just that they're.
Cool. More games ahead in my future.
It's more of like a validation high of like choosing me, getting chosen, being chosen, sex that is associated with.
I'm willing to risk my marriage for your body.
Yeah,
essentially.
or that, or I mean, I didn't feel that as much as I felt like I'm straight, but you're the one person that I would.
The exception to my straight rule.
Yeah, that
makes sense.
That was a good
that.
drug for a minute.
Yeah.
Well,
But the crash out was bad.
That's like kind of like the same energy that men, bring to lesbians that lesbians hate when they're like, I'm the one who can change you. Like, you just haven't had this dick yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the female version of that. So you've talked about like
but better.
wanting to be chosen a lot. Like, where is that coming from? Is this like a childhood thing?
I
What's
have
this
no
need to be
excuse. My
chosen?
parents are the best.
Are you serious? I did not think you were going to say that.
They're
I
married.
thought you were going to give us a story about
They're
how
my
they
best
fucked up.
friends.
Fuck.
I love them.
Love, yeah.
They're awesome. I mean, isn't it the same like stand-up comedy disease of like I'm doing this like when you think about stand-up comedy, isn't it kind of pathetic that you're like I know these things are funny and like I just want to hear you guys tell me they are again?
I think it's I think it's funny when I make audiences unhappy too with my jokes.
I agree.
That's it. Yeah.
Like I get a great joy out
that's
of
a specific
that.
kind
Me
of
too.
comic.
I totally get that. It's like a cool flex to sit
Yeah.
up there
Like, I
and
don't
have
care
them
that you hate me.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I also like this is so emo, but like I'm just so used to being misunderstood that to tell a joke and people not laugh to me is just like, oh, this is just a different level of being misunderstood. I'm so used to this. It's not
Yeah.
a problem. And for me, I'm like, oh, it's just a challenge. Like I know what I mean. I just have to find a clearer way of expressing it to people. And that's it. And then I go back to the drawing board. Oh,
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but it is kind of funny, especially when you hate them or you know they're dumb. You're like, this is great.
Yeah. I think
Twist
it's
the knife.
like growing up, I was so uncomfortable with the idea that I was gay.
Really?
Okay.
And,
Did your parents make you feel that way?
No, they're liberal.
Wow.
And I was like,
This is Allie versus Allie here.
totally. And I was like uncomfortable in my body that like when I finally accepted myself, it was like a proving to myself like, look at this. Like, I'm fine. The cheerleader's picking me. Finally. Like
Yeah.
and that was like just something that I was like chasing or going after.
So when you told your parents you were gay, were they like, cool, what do
Yeah.
you want to eat?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Did they know?
Know that I was gay?
Yeah.
Some
No.
parents are like, we all.
No, they
They
didn't.
should have known, but like they were like, okay, whatever. They did not care. They did
Good.
not care at all.
Did anybody care?
I cared. No
Just
one
you.
cared.
Okay.
Literally, no one cared.
Did you would have helped you more if they
Someone did
were,
care?
were mad at you?
Yeah.
I was like,
maybe it would have turned out different.
yeah, maybe. I was like crying, and I remember I was like, "Dad, hug me," and he was like, "Okay." He was like, it's all good," and I was like, "All right, okay."
You're not even mad at me a little bit? Couldn't be more happy.
It wasn't even them. It was just like growing up in like 90s, early 2000s. You're like, I don't know anyone who's a lesbian.
Well, I was gonna say you have the choices you have are like one other person.
Well, Lilith
who's
Fair.
out.
You had Lilith Fair.
Did you go to that?
That was so big.
All I knew was that Rosie was gay.
Right.
Yeah,
And Ellen.
and Ellen.
Right.
But not too.
But I'm like, I don't want to fuck Rosie or Ellen.
Right,
I'm
right.
fucked.
Yeah.
Then those were your only two choices.
That would make me sad too.
I was like, is that what it's like? How could I do that?
Fuck Rosie or Ellen.
Yeah, I was like, this is awful. I don't want to have sex with them. They don't feel sexual to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so in an odd way, this really resonates with me
so
because
funny.
that's the way I feel when I
About men?
saw like weddings growing up, like heterosexual weddings. I was like, and home life and motherhood. Like I still find myself looking at like mothering accounts on Instagram and I'll go, I don't want to do this. Like that's why I say because I'm trying to like really like open myself up to other ways of life, and I just will watch them all day, and I go, I don't want to do this. Like that's sometimes
Yeah.
out loud, sometimes in my head.
You're like allergic to it.
It just,
Yeah.
I just like I'm having
Sounds awful.
I'm having a tantrum. I can't help you through a
Sounds
tantrum.
terrible.
I just don't want to do it, and I love that we live in a world that you could choose to do it or choose to not. But I just don't want to do it.
Are we gonna want to do it at some point? Like, what happens when you're older
sound
and no
fun.
one comes to your Thanksgiving table and you don't have children? Like, what happens then?
You
You
make
do
it
whatever you
for
want.
the 5 dogs you adopted, and they're so appreciative. Have you ever seen a Thanksgiving at a shelter, Allie? It's incredible. I fucking hate Thanksgiving, but when I watch videos of dogs like eating the mashed sweet potatoes, like and the turkey,
I could cry.
Pure joy.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
who's
good.
gonna take care of us when we're older?
We're gonna
Us.
make fucking money so that we could pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
I
Or
guess
just
you're right.
die in the woods.
And they're going to
That's
do a way
fine,
better
too.
job because people are going to do a better job because they're getting a check and they're not doing it out of the sense of obligation.
Okay,
True.
but do you think you're gonna look back and feel that you lived a meaningful life?
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
you are.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
This constant rotation of creating kids who then they have to have kids to have meaning makes no sense. It's an endless loop. We'll never end
Yeah.
it if that's the only meaning.
Real
of
meaning
life.
is right here, Allie.
I know, but isn't there a chance? And I'm someone who's basically right now sitting in the spot of I don't want to have kids, but
Right.
isn't there a chance that having children will provide invaluable meaning to your life in a way that we can't comprehend right now?
I think it will provide something that we can't comprehend, but we'll
Yes.
never comprehend it, so we don't know what we're
Exactly.
So
I don't know,
ignorance is
missing.
bliss.
missing. But I also think
Well, like Jenna Friedman, we had on the show recently, and she
Yeah.
was like, I identify as a childless woman, but she has a son. And she was like annoyed that she had a son, but she was also annoyed
Like,
that how
actually?
much she loved having a son. She was like really kind of surprised
she
and
loves
shocked.
it.
She loves being a mom,
Yeah.
and she's like, I did not think I was fine. Like, I did not want this.
So how is she just accidental?
Kind of. I mean, she's married to the guy and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like, but just the amount of people I know with kids that are like, they want to kill themselves.
Yeah.
That sounds not fun.
But it's
No,
also
I
like I know
know.
plenty of people without kids who want to kill themselves. I just think it's like
True.
I think that both ways you're gonna be able to reach some kind of height that you wouldn't have reached in the other situation. That's all I think. I think like if you don't have kids, you'll be able to get to a point of self-actualization that you might not have reached. And then if you have kids, you might be able to like feel this level of love that you would never feel on the other end. But I think it's just like
outside my body.
it's a
Yeah,
choice. I
that's
don't
the
think
one.
one's better. I just think it's choice A or choice B.
heart
That's
was
how I
always
look
outside
at
my
it.
Yeah.
But also, like, oh God, when I have friends that have kids. My one friend, she's a single mom, so she still hangs. Why I go to her, but that's fine. But like, most of my really good friends that have had kids, like, you don't fucking see them anymore.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
know.
hear from them anymore. They only want to hang out with
Some
mom
parents
friends,
are cool.
which I get. I would too, probably, because it's like a really specific thing. But I'm like, man, where'd your fun go?
I know. I know.
And I love life can be like a fun adventure the entire life, and I'm determined.
The entire life.
Yeah.
Sometimes the only thing that one of the things that appeals to me once in a while is I think like it's the one way that I could recreate. Now this is bullshit,
Say it.
What were you gonna say?
but it's bullshit. But like I think about the parts of my sister got married this past weekend. And
Younger or older?
Younger.
Okay.
Oh my God, I opened my speech being like, well, It's me, the spinster dyke.
Of course you did.
But it did make me nostalgic for the years that we were like all growing up together in the house.
Yeah.
And the one attempt at recreating that is having your own kids. Obviously, you can have a lot of money and stay at awesome hotels and be with your homies, but it is a fun sort of energy of like the magic of childhood.
Sure.
But don't you feel the magic of childhood all the time, like in this occupation? I just, because I like, people are like, all my friends my age are like doing stuff with their kids and like, oh, it was so nice to go to Disney World again. And I was like, I just went to Disney World myself.
Yeah.
Like, you just do that.
And honestly, that is so fucking fun.
Cheaper.
I actually just took my own ass to the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't
But it's
feel
so
like
fun.
embarrassed. I mean, I trick-or-treated well through college. Like, I don't feel embarrassed. Like, I don't care. I don't care. These are the things that I want to do. I like doing these things. I'm going to continue to do them.
I think what's really missing
Drop
here.
$1,000 on a Halloween costume for yourself. It's fun.
With women that are on the fence about kids and they're like exactly what you said. I think that's a really real thing that a lot of people feel. But I think really what's at the core of that is the fact that we don't have fucking community anymore. If we had like not communal living, but like just community, we're like, and it's hard to have that in a city. Like you have to like meet at a certain place every week or something.
Well, we kind of have that with comedy clubs.
We do. But
Yeah.
I'm talking like people used to like live in these communities. Like this, I was watching this YouTube documentary about this woman that started a community in like Northern California. She like bought a parcel of land, and everybody kind of helps out, and everybody knows each other. But they honestly didn't seem annoying. They seem like they actually gave a shit about each other. They solved people's psychological problems. They came together, and I'm like, that is what I want.
I mean, that sounds amazing. Anytime I'm with my friends and I went on a trip this past summer, anytime I'm with them in a contained area where like you get to see your friends multiple times a day, there's nothing that's better than that.
Like a friend going on a vacation with a group of friends is like renting an Airbnb together.
It's the
most blissful moments of my life.
There's nothing happier.
Yes.
I really think.
So
Well, a lot
and
of
if you
women
can
have
get
been
access to
doing
that,
this with like friends buying like a big like a mansion together and like raising children together. Because I was thinking this weekend.
Lesbians.
sounds great though.
Well, I was thinking this weekend, like, I feel like so many heterosexual women make bad choices with their partners because they are racing against this biological clock. So what if you're going to get bad cum anyway, you can just get it from the sperm bank.
Yeah.
So just do that. And then...
Yeah, you don't have to live with the donor.
Right, like, and make a decision, make a decision to raise it with your friend.
For too long, women have been marrying their sperm donors, and I am
No
against
more.
it.
Corinne Fisher for mayor.
Yeah.
No more.
Like legit, if Christina came to me and she was just like, I just want to have a kid because I want to have a kid and it's time. Like, would you help me like raise the kid? I would literally say yes. Or like any of my female friends.
Is that real?
That's a big ass. That's a thick ass offer.
I wouldn't. No. I'm not like adopting the kid, but like I would sign on to be like, yes, I will like watch the kid. Like I will spend a good amount of time watching the kid. I'll do this. I'll make it so that you can continue to pursue your dreams. Like that would actually be truly ideal for me.
Yo, living in an apartment building and all your friends are in the apartment building. That is, oh my God.
My best friend and I live across the street from each other.
That's so fun.
We have walkie-talkies.
This idea is so good, it's making me horny.
That's cute as hell.
Yeah, it's so fun.
That's so cute.
No, but it's like then you get to like grab coffee and be like bye,
Yeah,
and
or
like
go
that
down to
little
their house and be
interaction.
like, can I borrow some butter? Like,
yeah, but New York City needs that because
Yeah.
otherwise it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
alienating. Like you're around so many people, but you're like still
alone, which is the loneliest feeling. I'd rather be in the woods by myself.
Same.
Yeah. No, I live in a co-op, which I was really against because it just seemed like people were going to be in my fucking business nonstop.
Yeah.
And like they are a little bit, but it's the smallest building I've ever lived in New York City. And I do actually know my neighbors. Like I gave my neighbor a key to my home.
Wow.
Just in case of emergency, like I've let him go in, like to do like work. Like he was like we have a shared outdoors, and he was like I let him do work back
That's
there
so nice.
when I'm not there. But I really genuinely trust him, and I also like living alone. The only thing is I'm like I don't know if my dog would bark, and I would want someone to find the body within a reasonable amount of time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's really my only concern. And sometimes I can't zip the back of my dress.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
you
but
can ask
figure it
that
out. You
guy.
get a safety pin.
The building I live in is like similarly small.
Yeah.
And everyone in the building is like relatively young and fun and all of this.
Right.
The one, like the double-edged sword on that is that I feel like they're always, my building, like the guys in the building are always trying to hang out with the girls.
Really?
Like they're always,
That's
they're
risky.
like, what are you doing this Friday? What are you doing this Saturday? And I'm like, I don't know how to say this, but like hanging out with the people that live in my building is like the lowest on my totem pole of priorities.
That's some like 22-year-old Murray Hill shit.
Exactly. And they're always saying stuff like, oh, you're so busy. And I'm like, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that commentary.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where are you going? We'll just come to your I'm like, shut up.
It's New York City.
Yeah, like you guys, what is going on?
But well, to pay rent, you got to be busy. That's why I don't understand why people think that we're just like around. I'm like, you know how hard it is to make rent? Like, what?
Yeah, but it is fun to live with.
I feel like if I had a building of friends, or even just one friend that you could just go over.
If I just had
house,
a single friend,
just in the
I'd be
same
fucking
building,
sick.
like that would be so. Like Casey Ballstrom and Robbie lived in my building we lived in each other's building for like a year or two, and that was just so like she needed a babysitter last minute because I had a spot. I went downstairs.
That's so
hung out
fun.
with Goldie. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This feels better than the best love in a relationship I've ever felt. Honestly, that's why I really think the missing piece is community.
I think you're right. That's like all these studies that you see that are like the biggest indicator of like longevity is your community, your friends,
community.
the quality of your friendships.
Yeah.
They don't talk about your husband and how it's like the quality of your relationship, your
Yes.
friends.
Yeah.
I know. Gotta make some
Threesomes.
threesomes.
Speaking of community.
Yeah. What do you think about them?
Love them. Had many.
Really?
Love them so much.
Why do you love them?
So many reasons. I've had male, female, and I've had male, female. So I've had me and two guys. Me and two guys and me and a guy and another girl. They're both so hot.
You
for
and two guys.
Yes, I've had that twice.
Is that the best for you? Well, you're bisexual or straight? How do you identify?
I guess I guess bisexual. I don't tout that around because it feels like there's a couple there's some comedians I know they're like, I'm bisexual now, and like you've had a boyfriend for 5 years. What?
I know.
I don't know. It feels weird. So it feels a little tokenism.
Yeah.
But the male female threesome is just like wild.
Well, I would imagine if you lean straight, that is like the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
What,
it's
you
pretty
hate
good.
this?
I don't know.
She doesn't even like one other person.
I threesomes not for me.
What do you think?
So,
Well, first of all, why would I show up to anything where I'm not headlining?
well, male, female, you are.
female, you are.
If the guy,
No,
for mine, the guys weren't bi.
I'm way too much of a feminist to. I don't.
You want to please two
irks,
men?
Exactly. It irks me to please one man. Why am I bringing another man into this?
I have to-
absolutely not. If they made out with each other, like I do like a little bit.
Yeah, I
of
wish
gay.
a guy was a little. I love when a guy's
I
a
used
little
to
gay.
like not gay porn, but there was this movie called Get Real. When I watched on VHS so many times, I've talked about it on this show before, but it was just like men kind of like caressing and like making out. It was like a coming of age like sort. And when I was a teenager, I was watching it like not now, but yeah. And it was like teen men like making out with each other and like
Teen men.
feeling each other's
so
bodies.
funny, teen men.
Teen men.
I was a teenager too.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I mean, I loved that movie.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie. Highly recommend.
I kind of felt like what you're saying when I had a threesome with a guy, and I've only had threesomes with one guy and one girl.
Okay.
And I do feel a bit guilty that I'm complicit in some dude having like a fantasy.
Yeah,
Like
but-
he knows I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
And he knows I'm in the room, and I'm guilty of just giving this straight
But you
male
also
so much
liked-
pleasure.
You also liked it.
I
It's just
liked
like a
it, but
byproduct.
I'm not doing anything with him. We're both
Right.
just basically you could sub me for male, female.
Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun.
Oh, you're having a real bi kind of meltdown, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, that sounds fun. Smoke cigar.
So wait, then how are you getting into these? So like when you're getting into a threesome, then if you're not doing anything with a man, like why are you
Like
showing
when-
up?
Because
You're fucking
Just
her.
because your female partner wants to do it?
no, I'm never doing it when I'm in a relationship.
Oh,
Because there's like a hot woman who like my homie and I will both be interested in.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then she will
I see,
be
I see.
bisexual or something, and she'll be like down
see.
for us to both be.
Wow,
I see
that's
what you're
great for
saying.
that other
Okay.
gal.
Okay.
That sounds great.
She's
That
projecting a
sounds
lot onto
great.
it.
I really am. I'm
Yeah,
projecting
it's
so much.
fun.
Yeah.
I kind of just have to tune out the guy
Right.
Yeah.
because I'm like, whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
And especially if it's like a guy you know, and you're like,
whatever.
that's so nice. That's like a nice dynamic of like, I know you're not gonna do anything weird.
No. I wouldn't do it with like a rogue man.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't trust men.
Correct.
What are they gonna do?
They
Like,
might
what if
kill
he
you.
does something weird, pull out a gun? You never know.
100%.
From his ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be hot.
I don't know. Also, a threesome with two women would be a little too emotional. I would be like, someone's mad at me.
Right. And it might be.
I feel like that'd be hot.
I'm sure it would be. I don't. Yeah, I'm
again, I'm
sure it would be
projecting.
hot. I'm sure it would be hot. Women are hot, but there's a lot of emotions. Not that men are. The men are a bit more stoic.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I just think like women, there's no man that's even close to as hot as like the 1 millionth hottest women. Like women are
Exactly.
so gorgeous and magnificent and impressive and amazing and just better.
Oh, I really
know.
like men, I think.
No, but okay. Here, I
Because
have a good-
I'm thinking in my head, I'm just like, there's been, it's pretty hot.
so
men.
you're properly straight,
yeah, like
like
I-
capital
very
S.
straight.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's
Someone
a question.
tried to figure out a sex club and she was like, nah.
No, I let
But you let her.
I let her. Okay, so this is.
But you didn't like
This
it.
is the gayest thing I've done. I let a married woman finger me at a sex club because I saw that her marriage was struggling and she was there to fix it, and I wanted
That's
to be
nice.
I wanted to do something for the sisterhood.
Okay, so it was a
But I
donation.
reached back.
Yes.
But I reached back because I knew she was doing it for her husband to see if she was wet, and she wasn't. So just like, and I was like, we're just here helping each other out. Her husband was watching.
Aw.
I go, this is for you, girl.
That's
you know.
lovely. That's,
I just-
volunteer work.
And I just felt like they were like a little bit like older and like no one was paying attention to them. And I said, no one should feel.
Not on my watch.
No one should feel like this at a sex.
That's really funny.
And she was very,
Philanthropist
and
everywhere you
also-
go.
but also because I do feel so safe around women, I was like,
Yeah.
even though this won't sexually arouse me, like if a man that I didn't want touching me touched me, I would just like be disgusted. But a woman who I just said it's okay.
This is what I'm saying, Corinne.
Yeah, I said, yeah. I'm like, I love women so much. Yeah, you could finger me just because this is why you're here. Just finger. It's
Okay,
all good.
but then let me ask you
Didn't
this
bother me at
question.
all.
This is like a straight girl litmus test. I've asked my sister this. I
Yeah.
don't get how straight girls answer this. If you're so straight, would you rather have sex with like, I'm trying to think, like Penelope Cruz?
Right.
Or like, who's like a really unappealing man? Or like
Penelope Cruz, honestly.
Penelope
is the answer.
Cruz or like Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Oh,
Philip
he's such a
Seymour
good
Hoffman,
actor.
100%. Well, he's dead, isn't he?
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
he
but
is
who's,
dead.
but you
God
know what I
rest his
mean? Like,
soul.
who's a man who like,
A disgusting man.
Donald
who's-
Trump
I
or
mean-
Penelope Cruz?
Well,
There you
there's-
go.
There's like social issues there that I wouldn't fuck a rapist.
No one's that straight, Allie.
Right.
No one is that straight.
But like when you said Penelope
Okay.
Cruz,
No one's that
even though I could recognize that she is breathtaking, I literally have actually a sketch of her in my home.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, because she's in one of my favorite. Because
What movie?
Sky?
No, Penelope Cruz. That's Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah, that.
That's one of
character-
your favorite movies as a straight girl?
Yes, I love Vicky
a great
Cristina
movie.
Barcelona. I love her.
This is kind of all
character.
about bi curiosity, a throuple.
No, she's so mean in that though. That's why I like it. She's
Corinne, you're a lesbian.
She's mean enough for.
Corinne's like, oh, I didn't mean to finger her at the sex club. I was forced.
She
It was
fingered
a
me.
therapeutic fingering.
Allie, she
And I'd
fingered
rather
me.
have sex with Penelope Cruz. And there's a photo of her framed in
Now
my
you're-
house.
now you're
and I don't
projecting.
want to have kids. And I'm just here saying I want to live with my best friend. And by the way, Christina, I would have your baby. And that I would be cool with that. I would say yes to that
You
right
make some
now.
interesting
And I've
points.
never been more straight. I've never been more straight. I promise you. But I hate men and I'm disinterested in sex. And can't you just see that this is what it's like to be a straight
No,
woman?
I love my boyfriend, but it did take 39 years. But I like that. That was good.
She's finally
thank you.
straight. That was good.
But see how straight women are confusing?
No,
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, I don't want to have sex. When you said Penelope Cruz, I go, it's literally my nightmare to have sex with someone that much hotter than me.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit weird.
Is it?
For even the
I thought you
gayest
had a
of
thing where
women,
you were dating hotter people.
A man hotter than me, fine.
A woman
A
hotter than
woman
you?
hotter than me, literal nightmare.
Yeah, it's
What?
upsetting.
My literal nightmare.
It's really
No
upsetting.
way.
That'd be my favorite part.
No, man hotter than
You're
me.
so pretty.
So cool. I won an award. Look at me, Miss Personality. Woman hotter than me. I gotta go to the gym.
because it's confronting. It's like
Yes.
it's like I'm
Oh,
dating
really?
arts and I'm crafts.
Yeah, I don't have pecs. I
That's
don't
how
have
I
a dick.
feel.
I'm not comparing any of these parts.
Fucking a girl that was 10 times hotter than me, I would
No, you
go,
feel bad about your
let's go
body.
to the deli afterwards.
No, and I also
Let's go to the diner.
I hate
Deli.
feeling
The diner. I meant to say the
masculine.
diner.
I hate feeling masculine because I feel masculine so much in all of our
Oh.
areas.
See, I like
To
that.
feel masculine sexually makes me disgusted because I need a respite from how masculine I feel on doing stand up, running
Wow.
Yeah, I
businesses,
see
all
that.
this kind of stuff. I do not
dating
like
like a
it.
Victoria's Secret
So
model or whatever.
you prefer to be sort of subjugated by masculinity during sex.
I mean, I'll still sometimes be
like the way you
dominant,
word things.
but when I know it's like the person's like letting me do it.
Yeah, like you can finally access your feminine.
Yes. That's why sometimes I'll like date, people who are even like a little more on the conservative side, and then you go, I don't love this, but like I need to go almost like a cartoonishly masculine.
I really understand that because if there's a lot of queer women that I think they talk about like if they were attracted to men, and they talk about being attracted to men that are like more fluid energetically and the sort of hoop-earing men of the world.
Love those men.
And
that's Christine.
I love a kind of gay guy.
I don't feel that way. I feel like I want women to be very feminine and I want men to be very masculine, and I, as me, can do whatever I want.
I love that for you. Yeah. I don't even like when a man wears a scarf in the winter. That's how problematic I am.
Yeah, freeze your neck.
Exactly.
I'm like, Richard.
I'm like, put some eyeliner on. Come on,
sorry. I didn't know that you were gay.
You become so conservative in bed.
Yeah, no.
You're a little bitch, Mike.
Actually crazy.
With your gloves. Oh, you need gloves for your little paws?
For your little kitty cat paws.
And you're like, what? Treat me like a lady. Treat me like a lady.
It's a problem. A lot of stuff going on.
Treat me like a little girl.
I know.
He's like, I'm not confused at all.
Well, I always used to think though, like, I was always attracted to like women that were really feminine.
Okay,
really
Christina, you're a lesbian.
See, that's what Ashley Gavin said to me too. And I'm like,
Ashley Gavin said I was a straight man.
Ashley Gavin throwing out labels left and right. That's funny. No, I actually don't think anything.
But then I was like, well, is that not gay?
Stutters and gay panic.
Yeah. Is it gay? Are you gay or bi if you only want to date the hottest chicks?
Yeah,
I guess so.
I'm gay.
Yeah.
Remember the top of the episode?
Right. Well, you said you always need the same type. Like, what's
your type?
Besides being hyper feminine, is there like other qualities that are always the same?
Blonde. I mean,
okay.
I've tried to set that down. And
you tried to broaden.
Yeah, I haven't even meant to.
I will accept a redhead.
Like growing up, I was really attracted to brunettes.
Right.
And then the last, like, every girl I've dated has been like, sort of like the Aryan ideal.
Yeah, it's like your taste buds change every 7 years.
It's a shiksa thing.
So
It's an overcorrection for being a J.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking for this like this Aryan this thing. I'm like, oh my God, this girl. I don't know.
Khaleesi from Game of Thrones.
Khaleesi.
Yeah, so hot.
Yeah, I gotta stop with these blondes because they're just frigid.
Who plays Khaleesi? What actress?
Amelia Clark. Yeah,
she's so hot.
She's so hot.
I sent her a direct request on Raya. That got me nowhere.
She was on.
So funny.
She was. That wasn't really her, was it?
Yeah, of course. You can't have a fake profile on Raya. You're connected to your Instagram.
Fuck. Wait, is she bi?
No, she just like probably is like. No, on Raya, you could see women who are interested in women, and you could see all women.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't.
I mean, no one's on there to make a friend.
No, you can be.
Really?
You're for friends. It's a feature.
There's a lot of people on there who are just straight up networking.
Yeah.
Oh, networking. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's what some people call friendship, I guess, if you live in LA.
LA sounds
It's like, this is my community.
like the emotional desert. The soul is desert.
Yeah, LA is brutal.
Yeah.
Do you like living here better?
Yeah, I am going to LA this weekend. I do like LA. Yeah, I can't wait. I do like LA sometimes, but I think you see more people here, and you have more, like, the pacing is more fun. Like, I feel more connected to people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's easier to have community.
Yeah, I like run into people walking down the block all
Like
the
my
time
ex.
in New York City.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, no, I do like running into people here.
Do you watch porn?
Yeah, I usually do, but I haven't in really a long time.
What kind of porn?
Anything, just not lesbian.
Really?
Yeah, I hate lesbian porn.
I think that's like a
gay
hallmark of a gay.
Yeah,
woman.
because I'm just like, that's so
Because
not.
I do like lesbian porn.
That's a hallmark of being straight.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, straight girls love lesbian porn. I can't get into it. It's just the most fake thing, and I'm just like, no, I don't want
But it's for like the male gaze, you could totally fucking tell, and it's really annoying. But when they're actually having a good time, you're like, good for you.
Do you
girl.
watch porn?
Yeah.
What's going on? I'm sure your searches are confusing.
Yeah, I like cuck queen.
What's cuck queen?
Like a guy cheating in front of his girlfriend.
And is she like, no, stop?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes. I usually watch it with the sound off because my apartment building, the walls are too thin.
What about headphones?
You know what? I never think to put in headphones. Oh, because I want to, if the partner's coming home, I don't want to be like,
Oh, you have a partner?
Yeah.
For a long time.
Oh.
Yeah.
A man?
Yeah.
But you call him the partner?
Yeah.
Huh. You're going through something.
But I
huh?
feel like but having straight people
Got a
have, like,
good radar,
promoted.
Allie.
I feel like straight people have like taken over a partner.
I hate that.
and everyone's annoyed about it.
I find it to be very irritating when straight people are like, my partner. It's like, you're lucky enough to say my boyfriend. Just say my boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
My domestic partner and I have consensual sex while I watch porn on mute. Now I'm gonna go talk about guys we fucked on my podcast.
You're very good at impressions.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your impressions this
Is that
episode.
me?
No, that was me.
That was you.
Anything else you want to talk about, discuss? Anything eating at you? The time is up, but I want to make sure there's no like topic stone
there
left unturned here.
Is there a stone left unturned?
Yeah, skip a week at the therapy. Tell us whatever you need to tell us.
What's on your mind?
I don't know. I really, I don't have something specific. Is there something that I said that I didn't?
No, I think we went through. I was
I feel like is there something you guys want to talk about?
I mean, have you ever like what's the average length of the relationships that you've been in as a mostly serial dater?
2.5 years.
That's the average length.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, you're back to back
And
skis.
do you feel like I know you've been engaged, obviously, but like, do you feel like you like really committed to these relationships, or is there a part of you that maybe had one foot out the door? I'm completely
two
projecting
people good
here.
at reading in this room.
I feel like committed. Like, I think I tried my best to be fully committed in the relationship where I was engaged, and in the
Tried your best. What does that mean? Tried your best.
like I wanted to be fully committed, but I knew I couldn't get there, which is why we broke up.
Okay.
I don't know that I've ever
what
been
ways?
fully committed in any relationship because they don't like. If I was fully committed, I would still be in the relationship.
Okay.
Right?
No, because
But there's
when you
nothing
date,
go wrong.
as you date somebody, it could take 5 years to realize a certain quality of theirs to come through that you go, I can't do that.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Of course
years?
this happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's because in every relationship I've been in, I'm more committed to living out whatever my truth is, like for real.
Right.
My dreams, my desires, what I want,
Right.
more than I'm committed to the relationship being a success.
And that's completely
That's
normal,
healthy, though.
which is why society like is panicking right now because people are waiting longer and longer to get married, and then people are opting not to get married because they realize like it's very hard to interrupt that single life once you've been in it so long. Whereas if you did it when you were 25, it's like, okay, well,
Yeah, might as well stay.
I don't even really know who I am, so might as well add someone else onto this fucked up journey.
You're right. But to that like point, I don't know what that means. Like committed to a relationship to the point where I'm making concessions I don't want to make. No, I'm committed to a relationship to the extent that I'm not going to be miserable in the relationship.
Right.
I think it was like like for me, I was, obviously we're like talking about relationships every week on this show, and I was serial dating, but like not like in very short, like all less than a year. Like I love a 6-7 month, and then I took a step back and I was like single for 2 years by choice, and I was like, I don't really think I've been taking any of these relationships seriously, quite honestly. So I was like, maybe let me try being in a relationship and actually taking it seriously and actually putting both feet in and actually wanting to.
What does
be
that look
there.
like, taking it seriously?
Like, when someone invites me to meet their parents, I actually do it.
Oh.
Even though I don't want to. And I don't
But
want
but that
that's-
to me
but
is
that's-
like, why are you committing in that way?
Because
because I just never am going to want to meet anyone's family who's not my own, but I understand that it's important
that's
to
part
other
of it.
people.
Part of being in a long-term relationship is doing things that you don't necessarily want to do,
Right.
but you know that'll make the other person happy.
Because you love the person so much
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
meaningful to
and
them.
like not being a fucking downer when you do the thing you want to do. Like,
Right,
I'm gonna let's have fun. Let's have fun. I think that's a part of a relationship. You've never done that for a
No,
person?
of course I've done that, and I've been in real, like, serious
Yeah.
relationships. I just mean there's like a line between, of course, I'm doing these things because I'm in a relationship, and that means making compromises and concessions, meeting you in the middle, but also like, I want to be careful that I'm not like giving up big pieces of my life or like getting into a
no.
pattern
You
of
don't wanna
doing
lose yourself.
or getting into a pattern where like this isn't what I want long term.
Oh,
like
no.
even if you're with someone and you love them, I don't want to go to Long Beach Island every weekend to spend Sunday dinner with your family. Whatever the fuck it is, it's
Oh,
like that
yeah.
might be
That
important to you.
sounds- yeah.
I love you. I don't love you enough to do that. You're not my person. If I'm not in that.
For sure.
Well, your person wouldn't care that you don't want to go. They would just go themselves.
I guess,
Like,
yeah.
I would think.
Relationships are so difficult.
They really are.
Well, I think they're inherently.
They
like,
really
I
are.
think relationships are just like are all toxic.
That's why I agree.
Kind
I
of.
totally agree.
Just like
and that's
the
why being
structure.
single It's so easy.
In a way that I
Yeah.
feel like
It's
friendships aren't.
easeful. to
Because
be
they're not
single.
asking anything of you in the same way.
And they're not the only one in that role, so you're not going to just you never
Not your
you don't
everything.
have just one friend. You have multiple friends.
It's unimaginable pressure. I feel for relationships like can do 80-20, like I need to be happy 80% of the time.
Yeah.
20% of the time being upset, it's like relationships are like, ugh.
That's a big chunk of time.
I know, but the whole
Yeah.
like the deal is that we're building something.
But I think the game changer factor here is if the other person, if you could say like, I don't want to do this, and they're like, okay, and that
Yeah, but
there you
like
go.
you can't.
You can't. It depends.
It's like
Everybody's so different.
they're gonna want stuff that you're not gonna want to do. You're gonna want stuff that they're not gonna do. It's just like the deal. It's like just being human. It sucks.
It does suck.
It's
I
terrible.
could not agree with you more.
It does.
But you're
It's
right.
great.
Friendships are the best. They're not like you don't pretzel yourself. I mean, hopefully for them.
They're love because you want it. Like you're in each other's lives because you both want to be in each other's lives.
Yeah, there's not like all these promises associated with it.
And they don't make you change. Well, good friendships don't.
Yeah.
Where can we find you online?
I'm at Allie Colbert on everything. ALI Colbert with a K.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Allie. This is great.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thanks for roasting us. This is fun.
Make sure to go see Allie.
Sorry I called you Allie Colbert.
That's okay. I like that.
I liked it too.
I go, is she related? It's not spelled the same.
I knew it was
way,
a
though.
K.
This has been the Guys We Fucked podcast. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next Friday. Bye.
A woman last night who
they have kicked all the fraternities off their campus.
Really?
Not our problem.
Yeah, we're getting rid of our liability.
Yeah.
So y'all
they
can.
know what is going on. So
They
it's
know
not our
it.
problem.
Yeah.
My naive ass thought they were doing that because they wanted to end sexual assault.
That's so sweet, Christina. That's so you. Yeah, they said, you know what? The buck stops here.
All right, everybody. We are here with activist Summer Willis. So happy to have you on the show. So much to talk to you about.
Happy to be in New York City. Thanks for having me.
It's honestly very nice to have someone who's not always in New York City because I feel like
You're so happy.
Yeah, you're like, is Times Square near here? And I'm like, honestly, this is nice. This is because I love this city so much, and Christina loves the city, and Eric's rather new to the city too, and I feel like just very quickly you become a jaded New Yorker. So it's nice to have someone with the whimsy in their eyes still.
I lived here for 2 months, and my father-in-law gave me 2 rules. He said, ditch your bright yellow winter jacket and don't smile when you're walking. And
Very good rule.
I ignored him until one day I was walking down the street. Someone stopped their car, ran up to me and said, go on a date with me.
Oh no!
And so I ditched the yellow jacket, and I tried not to smile, but it's hard.
And that's how
Eye
you learned you're
contact.
too approachable. Yeah.
Corinne taught me
Exactly.
not to make eye contact with everybody because you just invite craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see into their souls.
Yeah.
And they're like,
One time,
"Oh."
remember one time we were on the subway together and I was like looking at a guy that was
Yeah.
like unhinged and he came up to us and we had to move carts.
Well,
I
yeah.
remember that very well because you were like, never make eye contact. And I was like, really?
The one I remember was we were like on the Upper West Side near the old Stand Up New York, which is now New York Comedy Club, and we were like eating in some kind of like a deli or something, and a guy like came up and pressed himself against the window to make eye contact, and I go, what? Why are you looking so hard at people that they feel the need to press their body against the window?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's got something with the eyes.
Oh my God. But so happy to have you here. Summer and I met when we were doing the work for the involuntary intoxication exclusion here in New York City, which is, the path I took after the Board of Elections didn't put me on the ballot for mayor of New York City.
Cute.
But I feel like it was like good. I was like, this is exactly the kind of stuff that I want to be doing. And it's so crazy. We were just talking before we started recording that this, legislation to stop this exists in now Texas and not in New York. And it's not very often that Texas is making,
waves,
more progressive moves than New York. But do you want to start with talking about the exciting bill that you just got passed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Named after you. Exciting.
So cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm blushing.
Legendary.
Yeah, well, in Texas, there was no definition of consent. So after 10 years since my own story of rape, I went and asked the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault how I could help, told them my story. And that's when they told me, oh, your story doesn't even count in Texas. Even if you did everything right, no one would have taken your case because one person handed you a drink and another person raped you. And yeah, because if you don't have a definition, then there's all these,
the law can be
all
vague.
of these loopholes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said, I want to do something about it. Can I do what I guess I'm known for, which is drawing attention and making people talk about sexual assault? And so I decided to crawl a marathon.
Fucking amazing.
As you do. How did that idea, how did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, I brainstormed, got the sheet of paper out, and I was trying to think, what does it really mean to be a survivor? And thought of a bunch of crazy things to do. But the thing that I felt in my bones was the word crawling. Crawling to have a healthy relationship, to share my story for the first time, to feel like I'm happy again, to get help. All of these things felt like a crawl. And so I thought that would be the best story. And
you crawled 26.2 miles? What is it?
Yeah, 26.2. So I got halfway. I got to the 13.1
That's really impressive.
mark. It hurt so bad. I've had 2 children.
Yeah.
I've never been in that kind of pain. It was blood. I had knee pads and gloves on, but they were bleeding underneath inches and bruised. And I never went to the doctor, but could almost swear that my left knee was fractured. And so at 2 a.m. in the morning on the crawl, I was back to being, the day of my rape. And I felt helpless and I felt defeated, and I felt like none of the press would show up. The politicians that said they would join me to finish, they wouldn't come. And then I realized that's what I used to think, that I was defenseless and helpless and unlikable. But I've run 29 marathons by now, and I can do hard things, and I'm going to finish this a different way. And so the next day I actually got on the Austin Marathon course, and I was standing up and I was going to run the rest of the race. I was going to finish strong. And it ended up being literally, I have chills thinking about it, but across the street from where I was raped.
Oh, wow.
And I started crying because I said, thank God I'm not on my hands and knees and in pain anymore. I'm right by my husband who loves me, and I'm standing tall because I put all of this work in the last decade, and I get to finish this strong. And it was the easiest 13.1 miles I ever ran.
Wow.
The press covered it. We were on top of the 5 o'clock news hour that night. The politicians showed up, and that's when they decided, when we finished the run, that they were going to name the bill after me.
Wow. That's really fucking cool, man.
Define consent in Texas. And from there it was a struggle to actually pass a bill that hadn't had really any traction. They've been trying to pass it for 10 years. But I feel like the strength of having a story behind it and having someone doing crazy shit. It made people pay attention. And I know CNN did an article about it afterwards, and they said, if she did not crawl, do you think this bill would have passed?
Right.
And every politician said no. You need it. And
women literally need to crawl 13 miles to say that it was still rape because I had a fucking alcoholic beverage.
Well, it's a very American story. It's an American story. It's we need a little gimmick to get us interested in
Mattress girl.
In the welfare of our people. Well, Summer also traveled with a mattress on her back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
26.2 miles around Central Park.
Whoa.
And it's like I felt like you had to do those things to get people to talk about sexual assault, but it was almost like I'm going to make them.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something crazy enough. And I know one of the comments on Runner's World was like, oh, she's doing this for attention. And it's like, you bet I am.
Yeah,
we need
absolutely.
attention. Otherwise, you wouldn't have thought about this today or ever.
Right, and it's not like it's attention for you, like you're trying to, get more followers on TikTok. You're trying to get attention on a cause that is important to you and will help so many other individuals. So let me go back to what you just said.
Yeah.
So is it true that what you experienced in Texas, your rape, you didn't even know until 10 years later that the consent laws were what they were in Texas? You had no idea until a decade later.
Yep.
And so what was the experience? Like, if you don't mind going into your actual rape story, what was the experience that night? Who did you tell? Did you get assistance from any authorities? I know you didn't get a rape kit, so just what went on that night?
Yeah, so I never expected to become a victim of sexual assault. I had no idea what to do, but yeah, the story starts, it was October, my sophomore year. I went to a fraternity party, and just to paint the scene a little bit, a lot of fraternity parties, especially in the South, you have this giant house and a gate around it. And what they do, and I've seen this in different states, they literally put black plastic around the fence so no one can see
What's happening inside.
Exactly. It's a secret. And I went in and had a group of girlfriends, guy friends there. I was handed a red Solo cup. I took it, drank it, and went to the dance floor, and the world started blurring, and I knew something wasn't right. And I started running home. And I remember it was the last time I really felt freedom before just face planting. Looked down, blood on my knees, blood on my hands, but I couldn't feel it, like the pain. And then someone helped me up, someone I considered a friend. And it was
Considered a friend.
Yeah.
You knew this person.
I knew this person, and he was the same person who held me down. And I don't remember the worst thing that ever happened to me. I just remember being in a really hot shower afterwards. Like, my body kind of understood, like, get this off, melt your skin off, like, you get it off. And when I asked him what happened the next day, he was still there. He started laughing and said, you kept on saying no, and you tried to push me off. And
at no point during this conversation with someone that you had known previously is like, in your opinion, I know, I don't know, but like, did he know that he had raped you, or did he just think this was like a
thing that happened?
What do you think is going through his mind? Is this maniacal? What is going on here?
I don't think it hit, even when he was laughing and saying, like, you were fighting against me, you were saying no, that it was bad. And what he did was went home and he told all of his fraternity's brothers about it, and they wrote about it in their fraternity newsletter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious? So there's evidence.
Yeah, there is evidence.
So wait, and
but they said he had sex with her, and it's like.
But they included the "you said no" part.
No, they wrote it as like a trophy announcement, like, he got her.
And they named you.
And they named me, and actually, one of the fraternity guys came up, and he was like, our group of friends saw how gone you were from the drink that we gave you, and we were fighting over who got to be the person to take you home. And he was also laughing, like, this is all some big joke.
This
Summer.
is truly like a
I would go on a murderous rampage. How did you feel anger? Like, because it's so
your
different for everybody.
Your stand-up bit talking about anger and tears. I became a shell of myself. You asked if I reported. I was so embarrassed and felt such shame because I was very modest. Like,
and also being sexually bullied as a woman. So like the conversation that they were having with you after of like we were wondering who was going to do it. That to me, that's sexual bullying. And like when that happens to a woman, like let's fight, flight, fawn, freeze. You fucking shrink into 5 inches tall. Like how the fuck did you deal with that?
Yeah, I became a shell of myself and I didn't leave my apartment. And like before my freshman year, I was one of those weird kids that just people said, "What's your favorite part of college?" And I said, "Going to classes." Like I
agree
loved,
with you.
I loved going to classes so
too,
much
girl.
in school.
Learning's mad fun.
Yeah, I stopped talking to my family. I stopped talking to my friends. I stopped going to classes and that was the end of it. It's almost like it killed that part of me that thought I could be something like the writer, happy, a wife, a mom, like all of it was just dead and I was a shell of myself now.
Yeah. And now like fraternities, like they are, they're a part of universities and colleges. So this newsletter goes out with this story where they name you. Is what happens is does the college, anyone at the college looking over these and saying, whoa, this is just like, even if it's not illegal, like I hate that things have to be illegal for people to be like, yo, I don't care if this is illegal. This is just fucked up. This is fucked up. This is not how we treat each other. This is a learning space. This should be a place that is conducive to healthy growth. Like, is anyone looking this over? I mean, even when I fucking worked at Late Night with Conan O'Brien, they were looking over the Intern Gazette. Like, you know what I'm talking about here? Like, why is a comedy show having more moral standards than a college or university in this country?
And that's a bill I'm about to start working on nationally. But it's like they have kicked all the fraternities off their campus.
Really?
In most public universities. And so they're saying we're getting rid of our liability.
Yeah,
so
they
y'all
know
can
fucked up
drink.
shit is going on. So
They
it's
know
not our
it.
problem.
Yeah.
My naive ass thought they were doing that because they wanted to have sexual assault.
That's so sweet, Christina. That's so you. Yeah, they said, you know what? The buck stops here. We're done.
Yeah. No, they're still operating just off campus. So they clean their hands of liability and say, do what you want over there.
Wow, man.
And so you're 3 times more likely to be assaulted on a college campus than any other time in your life.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And we're not doing
at the
anything
low
about
price
it.
of $100,000 a year. Wow. Okay, so you said you're working on legislation. What is can you talk about what the legislation is?
Yeah, we're going to file it hopefully next month.
Okay.
So it's called the SOS Campus Safety Act. And basically it tells survivors on federally funded campuses, here is one independent resource to help you navigate after you've been raped. Do you want to go to Title IX? Do you want to go get a rape test done?
Yeah.
Do you want a civil procedure? Do you want to press charges? Do you want free counseling? Like, because after you're raped, you're going through PTSD. You're traumatized. You don't have time to go look. And I have some college interns, and I've talked to other college students, like at, I don't know if I can name universities, but at a famous school, they have their Title IX office listed and it's like we have a Title IX department, but don't even give the address. How are college students going to?
Right.
Yeah. And so as a survivor, it's like if I knew there was someone to help me.
Of course.
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
So you said that because one person handed you the red Solo cup and another person raped you, that's why it didn't count. Is the legislation identical, or is the like exclusion identical in Texas as it is in New York, or was it slightly different?
So we didn't have a definition. So all of it was like, this is what rape is not. And they had about 15 cases. So if yours wasn't specifically that case, that example, then just goes through.
So
Exactly.
they were using 15 cases as legal precedent, basically, and if it didn't fall under one of those 15 decisions.
Yeah, scenarios. If yours wasn't
okay.
this
Holy
scenario.
shit.
Right.
So there is another.
Who came up with those scenarios?
Men.
There was someone giving a prosecutor who gave a testimony when we were trying to pass this law, and she said that she just got a case the day before. So this was 2 months ago.
Right.
The hotel was sold out of rooms during a work conference, and so a woman and a man had to share a room, 2 separate beds. The woman woke up, her coworker was inside of her, and she froze. She didn't, as you said, a natural fear response.
Yeah.
She didn't fight back.
Yeah.
She.
You're not in the room anymore.
Yeah,
You're
you're
on another planet.
She just froze up.
Yeah.
3 days later, she went, reported her case, and they said, we can't help you, because that was another loophole. Because she froze and didn't fight back or say no, then that didn't count. And so we needed a definition to encapsulate all of these scenarios.
I'm really impressed by your joy. I think that's the biggest form of resistance, like biggest fuck you to when something happens like that. Was there times when you were angry at this person who did it, or how? Because everybody
I'm
handles it
still
differently.
angry.
Like, I want to kill him. I want to murder him. I don't know who he is, but I want to kill him.
Oh, I want him to stay alive and just have a really bad time.
I want him to have a slow, painful, and embarrassing death in front of everyone he's ever respected.
I feel loved.
I want to cut his dick off slowly. I want to put stuff up his ass. I want to, my murderous rage towards men, and I told you before we started recording, I have a very close friend of mine going through it, and this guy is he knows the system, so he's running to the cops first. She scratched me, and just such bullshit. And I actually did recently take up long distance running. Fucking game changer. But my question for you is, what has your dance been like with that rage? And how do you, obviously making legislation has to be a huge way to process it in a really healthy way. But what has that looked like for you over the course of 10 years?
Yeah, well, I think for 5 years, I was just destroyed and defeated. And I don't even think I felt a lot of anger. I think I just felt sadness because there was a lot of self-blame. Like, why did you go to the party? Why did, these things that society tell us. And then I went and finally studied abroad in Chile, and I joined my first women's protest march. A girl had been killed by her boyfriend, and there was
old as time, unfortunately.
thousands of women in the streets marching and in Spanish, but they're saying not one more.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And that was my first experience with doing something bigger than myself and starting to find power. And then I joined Teach for America and Peace Corps, where I met my husband, and I realized by doing good, I'm able to put good in the world, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 2 years ago when I really started this journey that trauma, it comes in waves, and it's triggered at different times.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I was triggered, and I just started crying in front of my 4-month-old and my 2-year-old. And they started crying too. And I started to think back, and they were copying me everything I wanted to do. They started asking me for coffee in the morning and wine at night. And I was just thinking, when I was looking at them crying, what if I could be the girl that I used to believe I could be? What if I could be someone who is strong and resilient and did good in the world and was this powerhouse? What if I was limitless? And so I read that night about a woman, didn't know how to do it, but I read this story about a woman who ran 52 marathons in 52 weeks and raised $1 million for pancreatic cancer after her dad died.
Wow.
And I thought I couldn't run a mile at the time.
Yeah.
But that morning I woke up and I said, this is how I do it. I'm going to run 29 marathons starting in 3 months when I turn 29.
Shit, no training. Or
No
3 months of training, that's it. That's wild.
And my husband, I told him first, and he was like, I know my wife didn't just say 29 marathons. Because I think most people say I'm going to run one.
Yeah.
I said 29. But I think it was through doing these marathons again and again, proving to myself that I can do hard things, that I am stronger than I ever realized, and then starting to tell my story publicly for the first time and being loved by others. And they called me brave. They told me their stories and started to realize I'm not alone. There's a whole community around the United States that is with me, and I want to fight for them. And I started thinking of myself more as a fighter as that year went on until the year ended and I started working on this legislation. But it was finding community, it was doing a hard thing, and it was also being able to play, I guess, with my boys every day, like finding joy in either going to the beach or, I don't know, just the little games you play with a year-old.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to out him?
I do, and yet I'm still scared of the system that
Isn't that
will
funny?
sue me, because he can
Yes.
sue me if I say his
So-
name now, but I can't go after him.
Yep. Yep.
Until I change one more law.
My friend,
Yeah.
please do, because my friend and I have been talking with each other. I've been physically more closer to her in the recent, like, past 6 months since her kid was born. And I just know the whole story about this guy. And like I said, we've hosted guys who fucked for 12 years. We get emails about sexual assault all the time. I've done volunteer programs for victim advocacy because of the emails we get. Like, it breaks my heart to read these emails, every fucking one of them. I'm like, fuck, man. And then it happens to somebody that's really close to you, and you're like, what the fuck? And all I want to do is out him, because the only thing this person happens to care about is his public reputation. He's the king in his community. And you know, and if he's done it to one person, he's done it to many others. And I was looking at the laws and stuff, and I'm like, wow, he is so protected. This person is so protected. Like, have you ever tried to contact him or no? Like, is that, like, do you still have mutual friends?
We have some mutual friends, but because that happened so quickly in college, like, I missed my college experience. I didn't.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of friends from college because that. So
Yeah, whenever people are talking about all their college friends,
Yeah.
it kind of breaks my heart, because
sure.
I was in a dark room,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
mourning myself. But one day, I will say his name. I will say the fraternity's name.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out the
The
system.
legalities. Well, let me know when you change those fucking laws, because
Yeah.
I would love to. I mean, I know you have to put the word allegedly in front, but like, guys like this are so quick to cry, like, she's ruining my reputation. You raped someone, you piece of shit.
Well, can you paint a picture? Like, I know we can't name him, but like, can you paint? Do you know what his life is like right now?
Yeah, no, I'm talking to lawyers, and it's like, how can I finally get justice? By passing the Summer Willis Act, I made sure that what happened to me, like, won't happen to someone else again. And so there's that. But now in Texas, it's statute of limitations, because usually it takes survivors 7 to 13 years to actually tell people. And in Texas, it was 10 years in 1 month until I was like, hey, what would it look like if I actually pressed charges? And it was 1 month too late. Like, after my 29 marathons, I finally was ready to hear what a defense attorney would say about me, because you just hear these horrible stories and they happen. I was on a speaking panel with a 13-year-old girl who, when she took her case, the defense attorney pulled up her middle school track times and said, you were this fast. Why didn't you run away?
Wow.
To a
Are you
13-year-old.
motherfucking kidding
That
me?
happened.
Wow. I'm not
Like,
surprised.
less than a year ago. And so what
Yeah.
are they going to say about me? You went to
Right.
the party, you took the drink. Like, is this common for you? And I was never ready until I was able to find myself again. And now that I found myself again, it's too late.
Right.
But we just need to change one more law.
So what is currently, what's the legal definition of rape in Texas?
I don't know what the definition
Right.
of rape is. I know consent is like
Right.
active. I wish I could say this more eloquently, but but that they have to be conscious and in a okay
Crazy that we
state.
need to
I
make
know.
law. We have laws that men can't marry children. In the 90s is when a man couldn't legally rape his wife anymore. It's crazy, these laws.
Well, yeah, and the problem is like so many people don't find out that these laws even exist until something bad happens to them.
Yep.
Like, we literally have been doing a show for 12 years where we talk about sexual assault and rape and women's issues nonstop, and it took me running for fucking mayor of New York City to find out that we had the
involuntary or the voluntary intoxication exclusion in New York. And I was like telling everybody, because I'm like, this is something that people in this space would be
I had no idea.
very interested in knowing about.
And most people are like, how is that not a law yet?
Right.
Because Texas is the third state with an intoxication clause. The third. It's that way.
Wow.
As far as the reporter told me.
Right.
Well, yeah. So exactly. And that's the thing. It's stuff that needs to get passed. It's not like